Hello and welcome to Science and Sorcery. You are joining us for our Playing for Palestine series. My name is Dagmar. I'm the host and creator of Science and Sorcery, and I'm joined here by two crucial team members who have helped to make this all happen. Our producer, Sam Langford. Sam, tired?
Tired but excited.
And our own Palestinian team member, Khalil Thurlaway. Khalil, also tired?
Always.
There we go. We are raising money for a Palestinian charity over the next eight TTRPG one-shots. And we're hoping that you will join us in this and take part in every way that you can. And for a little bit more information on how that could work, we'll pass it over to Khalil.
So we're going to be raising money for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. The PCRF is a non-profit organization that tries to help address some of the medical and humanitarian needs of young people in Palestine. Now, on top of the decades of occupation, expulsion, apartheid, ethnic cleansing, the recent surge in genocidal violence by Israel has really exacerbated all of those needs. So things like food, water, shelter, medicine, sanitary products, other essential items, they're all going to be really, really important once aid can get back into Gaza. Now, that may be one material way that we can try to make a difference, but there are other things we can do. I think Sam's going to talk about some of them.
Yeah, so of course nobody can do everything, but everyone can do something. And as well as our fundraiser, we also are dropping that into the chat, but also a whole bunch of other things that you can do at home, actions you can take. They'll be landed in the chat just now. So we can all do even just one little thing. So whether it is you watching this stream and joining in and sharing this and sharing what we're doing and putting those calls out, then that is great. But there's anything additional that you can do from the list we're just dropping, please do go and do that. But otherwise, we just want to say thank you so much for watching, for donating, for all of the people who you're about to see on the screen playing. Thank you so much. And thank you to Dagmar, to Khalil, to Alex, and to Rachel and our core team for helping bring this event together. But I'm going to pass back to Dagmar before we wrap up.
If you needed more motivation to donate, we've also got some fantastic giveaways. So thank you also to everyone who's donated to those. You can win some incredible things if you donate to our Tiltify campaign. That being said, without further ado, we hope you enjoy whatever's coming after this. And if you can't make this stream or one of the other ones, they'll be available to watch on YouTube, and the Tiltify will keep running for a wee while. So send it to your friends, send it to your enemies, and we hope you enjoy.
Stay informed, stay vocal, stay active. Free Palestine, we love it.
Free Palestine. See you, folks.
Free Palestine.
Hello, and we are live straight from the Science and Sorcery Twitch channel. Good evening, wrestling fans, tuning in far and wide, and welcome to this very special game of Worldwide Wrestling 2E. My name is Fiona, I use she, her pronouns, and I have the incredible honour and privilege of being the creative for this incredible roster of extraordinary wrestlers. Give them a round of applause, everyone. Woo! Gotta keep the energy up, it is Zoom. Now, before I ask our wonderful cast to introduce themselves, let me tell you a bit more about Worldwide Wrestling and what the stream is going to be about at the top of the session. So, Worldwide Wrestling is an award-winning game of professional wrestling, pageantry and action, showcasing satisfying storylines and satisfying and surprising storylines. There you go, I got surprised there myself. Written by Nathan D. Paoletta and published by NPD Design, this is a game about feuds. It's a game about championships, betrayals, and righteous victory. It's about the clash between good and evil on the grandest stage possible. It's about whether our wrestlers have what it takes, and in the end, it's about whether the audience thinks, well, what they think of their efforts. Now, with all that in mind, the world of WWW is one of high stakes, high risks, high rewards, and most likely shenanigans. And with all one-shots, all one-shots we run here at Science and Sorcery, our cast and I have had our session zeros, we've gone over our lines and veils, and we have safety tools in effect. However, as always, I just want to say to you, the fans out there watching us play this silly wrestling game, you have full permission to keep yourself safe and take a break from our story should you need to. As I always say, you are always more important than the rolls on the table. And of course, I cannot stress this enough, please do not try any of these fictional wrestling moves at home. Now, starting with Rara and going around clockwise, I would like our cast to introduce themselves. I would like your name and your pronouns. And as I always do for these sort of streams, I've got an icebreaker question for you guys, which I hopefully you've not overthought when I gave it to you 20 minutes ago. So don't worry, don't panic. The question is, what would your signature move be if you were a professional wrestler? So please, cast, introduce yourselves by name, your pronouns, and answer to the icebreaker question. What would be your signature wrestling move? Starting with Rara, please.
Hey, I'm Rara, he, they. I'll be playing Beacon Silver, also he, they. And my move would be the nostalgic taunt, where I would just sit on you and read your 16-year-old journals at you while asking how you felt about it.
I don't feel great about it, I'll be honest.
That was really bad.
Next up, Emily, please.
Hello, I'm Emily Bates. I use she, her pronouns, and I think my wrestling move, just because I've panicked and come up with a name, it would be called the Bates Bomb. And it would be where I would stand, because if I'm a wrestler, I could do this. I would stand on the top ropes, I would flip over someone, but on the way over, I'd grab them and then bring them back over the top of me and then power them into the ground.
Ooh, a double-double. I love that. Yeah. Amazing. Next up is Chirag.
Hi, I'm Chirag Aznani. My pronouns are he, him. I'm one of the... You can find me on Daisies and Dragons, doing other stuff, and if I... was able to be a wrestler, my move would be the pen pal, where I give them a loving letter, a little on a postcard, and while they're distracted, clothesline them from the back.
Man, I don't want to open any mail from you now on. That sounds awful.
Right, that was in the box.
No Christmas cards from you anymore.
Nope, that's all done. And last but by no means least, Alex.
Yep, I'm Alex Holmes. My pronouns are she, her. I maybe have overthought what my wrestling move would be, and I've decided I had to. I decided it'd probably be a mat slam because it's the most like lying down, and I'm not a very athletic person. There's no way I'm lifting someone above my head. There's no way I'm getting involved in wrestling. So yeah, lying down.
Lying down. Well, I think everyone can relate to that move, to be honest with you.
Pretty good at
great.
it,
It's pretty good. Well, thank you so much, my wonderful. What a fine roster we've got here. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to answer my own icebreaker question. So I also did think about this too long and hard, and then I realised that I used to do sports back in the day. I used to play a sport which is now called quad ball, was formerly known as Quidditch, and I used to play a Seeker on that team. If you've read any Harry Potter, you know the gist of what they do. I had to always finish the match by grabbing the snitch sock from the back of the snitch runner as it was sort of attached to the flag shorts, the football flag shorts. And I used to have a technique where I would run at them with the pole, which was representing the broom, between my legs. I thick thighs, so it was easy to hold the broom without having a hand on it. And I would windmill my arms, to dive in and out to get it. And there's many pictures of me where I don't look great, but massive windmill arms grabbing the snitch socks. And my signature move would be windmill arms. And I don't know how it would work in wrestling. I'll be honest, it might be embarrassing. I might be snatching people's pants off them. Oh dear, right. But before we begin our scheduled entertainment tonight, I'm just going to quickly talk through the main game mechanics you're going to see coming up in this session. Because, fun fact, there's not many actual plays of Worldwide Wrestling, so I thought it'd be nice to know what we're going to expect coming up to this session. So, Worldwide Wrestling. Oh my god, the first milestone has already been hit. Well, that is very exciting. We'll come to that in-game, so just keep an eye on that. I'll actually explain what they are in a second as well. So, Worldwide Wrestling is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is a system created by D. Vincent and Meg A. Baker, and also has elements of Simple World by Avery Alder. The players are going to narrate what their wrestlers do and use something called moves to accomplish their goals. What this means in practice is that whenever a player triggers one of their moves, they're going to roll 2d6, our faithful 2d6, add a relevant stat if required, and then compare the results to the move's success levels and follow what the outcome's going to be. So, if they roll a 10+, it's a full success. If it's a 7 to 9, mixed success. And if it's a 6 or below, it's a bit of a botch, it's a failure. Our wrestlers will have access to basic moves, wrestling moves, their own gimmick moves, and of course the babyface and heel moves respectively. I, the creative, also the creator, have my list of my own moves, of soft and hard moves, often used as in response to a botch. However, should we meet our donation milestones, one of them will be that I will get to use some of these moves outside of the flow of the game, which is very, very exciting. Another thing you will see these wrestlers do, they'll have access to a fluid resource called momentum, and will spend it either to add to rolls or to trigger moves. Momentum is supposed to represent a wrestler's energy, the intangible it factor. A player can spend any amount of momentum to add as a bonus. I'm not joking at all when we have just hit all the milestones. Wow, that is... Okay. Guys, I'm only describing the game so far. We'll come back to it in a sec. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yes, we're done. Let's go.
I guess that's it, the end of the game, yeah. No wrestling is involved. Everyone's finished all this. We'll keep on going. That's quite funny.
New milestones.
New milestones. Well, okay, more wrestlers will come. Where was it? So momentum represents that it factor. A player can spend any amount of the momentum to add a bonus equal to what they spend on any dice roll they've just made, and they always spend momentum after they've rolled, not before. So that's very, very important. So for example, if they spend 2 momentum, they add a +2 to roll. Momentum is another element we can achieve with these donation milestones, and chat can vote on which wrestler will get that precious, precious momentum when we come to it. So again, we'll sort that out for the first match for sure. The last element I'm going to mention here is one of the more unique elements of worldwide wrestling. It's one of my favourites, and it is the role of the announcer. So when we have a match that gets started, I'm going to pick one of the wrestlers who isn't involved in the fight to do some colour commentary, some recapping of the action, and add their own editorials as the announcer. The most important thing to note is that the announcer can trigger the move put over for each wrestler in the match to make them look awesome. To do this, they just describe what the wrestler is doing in the most impressive light to the viewing audience, and thereby increasing the roll result up by 1 level, so just bumping it up slightly. Just to note, the put over move can only be used on each wrestler once during a match. And that is all the game mechanics you need to know before we start. The final thing we have to do as a group is just, before we get started, is our heat questions. So how our wrestlers know each other and how they respond to each other. Because I thought that'd be quite nice to do on stream, just so that you guys get a sense for who is who. Just to say that heat represents how entertaining and compelling the relationships are between wrestlers, not whether or not they are positive or negative. We can discuss that a little bit. So, starting again with Rara, we're going to go around again clockwise. Introduce your wrestlers, their name, pronouns, what their wrestler persona is, so what their gimmick is, their want, and what they look like. So we'll do that for each individual wrestler, and then we'll start with our questions. So, Rara, who are you bringing into the ring today?
I will be playing Beacon Silver. He, they. When you first see Beacon Silver, he's a little older, a little thicker, but only thick enough to hold the ocean and the desires of his own heart. And not as in shape as some wrestlers have been, but with good, coarse fisherman hands. And what other question would you like to know first?
I would love to know what their gimmick is and what their want is, and then we'll introduce the other wrestlers and then do the heat questions go, so that everyone knows who each others are and they can write down their names before we get going.
He's the technician because he wrestled in college. Yes, he did go to college. Lighthouse keepers go to college. And his want is basically to earn a large amount of money so he can keep the lighthouse in the family.
Oh, it's always something in the backstory there. Fantastic.
Reluctant, yeah.
Reluctant. Emily, can you introduce Hummingbird for us, please?
Yes. Hummingbird uses she, her pronouns. Hummingbird is... she's a jobber, so her role in the whole promotion is to lose matches to make other people look really good. She's got this very brightly coloured hair. It changes colour most weeks. She wears very bright outfits, and she's got these cloth wings that she made herself attached to the back in order to try and put over the gimmick a little bit more and get the audience on side. And her want is the adulation of the crowd. Her dream is to walk out and see someone holding a hummingbird sign. It hasn't happened yet, but she's real hopeful. And yes, that's Hummingbird.
Beautiful. Chirag, who are you bringing to the ring today?
Yeah. Howdy there. I am the information superhighway man. I'm a veteran, as is my gimmick, and also this wonderful federation. And I used to just be the highwayman, but with the rise of computers and the memes, they had a little bit of a change to the gimmick, and so I've now been a bit cyberpunkified, if you'll take my drift. And what I really want is to cement my legacy, you know, so I can be remembered rather than having to keep changing with the times. Yeah. And was there another question?
No, that was it. Just checking on pronouns for the information superhighwayman.
He, him.
Nice. Alex, who are you bringing to the ring today?
I am bringing the obsolete overture. Any pronouns represents quite femme. They were originally in the opera, were there for a very long time, worked their way up from kind of chorus member all the way to kind of main stage. And then the arts funding cuts kicked in, and they realised all they want to do is perform. They want to be on any kind of stage, having people shouting their name or booing them, usually booing them these days. So they took up wrestling, and she's having a great time doing it. Her main want is revenge against those that implemented the arts funding cuts. And yeah, she's not that nice. She's a hardcore, which means that he is the one that takes a lot of the hits, takes it quite seriously, definitely gets injured, and gives out injuries. So watch out.
Definitely the sort of person you see coming down and you say, they're not stopping. Proper T1000 is what I imagine for obsolete overture.
Absolutely, not looking in any direction, just laser focused.
Incredible. Brilliant. So I'm going to go around again, starting with Beacon, if that's okay. And Beacon, I would like you to ask up to 3 of your heat questions from your sheet, and any of the other players can volunteer to answer it. We'll flesh out a bit of that backstory, and basically then you will add +1 heat to whoever answered that question and record that on your character sheet. So do you have a question for us to start off, Beacon?
I do. Who is trying to teach me skills I need for Out of the Ring? I was going to go with the Highwayman's trying to teach me to check email and things like that, but I think Beacon would rather learn to sing.
Well, I guess it's up to the rest of the team if they want to. Yeah, so I like that though. You got some suggestions there.
Yeah, I'll take that one. I reckon I'm aware of how fickle things like this can be, so I'm trying to teach you at least work out how email works, maybe how to format a CV on Word, you know.
And maybe some singing lessons in the background.
Maybe, but you know, be as good as me.
You've got to keep some things behind the screen a little bit. Brilliant. Before you ask your second question, one thing to note as well is that one player can answer multiple questions for a wrestler if it feels appropriate, because as we all know, heat and relationships in general can be asymmetrical. So what is your second question, Beacon?
Who is jealous of my technical abilities?
Ooh.
Can I have heat with myself? No, probably not.
No. Your technical ability.
I'm quite good.
You're quite good, yeah. Like my initial thoughts is either is perhaps me or Hummingbird might be jealous of that kind of thing. Especially like
Hummingbird is very good. She's just not recognized.
Oh yeah, then that's not gonna
technical
be
is my thing. That's what she's
yeah.
good at.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Maybe I'll throw out the third just so we have more of a broad view.
Yeah, go
of
for it. Yeah,
in general.
absolutely.
Who's learning new skills by watching me in the ring?
See, I would probably take that one for like, you know, the crowd actually, you know, go along with what you're doing, and Hummingbird's trying to like. You're a baby face, right? You're not a heel. Or are you a heel?
Depends on what he has to do that day, but at his heart, he would be a baby face. Yeah.
Yes, currently, yeah. Yeah, we'll come to the baby face and heel stuff in a moment once we've done all the questions. Don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so you'll take that first one. And if no one wants to answer that other question, that's fine. Unless, Beacon, you have a different question you'd like to ask. And you can. I can also recommend you can make up your own question. If none of the questions work, do we get heat by answering questions or having heat answered? Having heat answered is having questions answered is what you get there.
The fourth it gave me was who was holding me back as my tag team partner, but I could also go with who's trying to buy my lighthouse. Would be a fun heat situation.
Obviously, Overture is definitely trying to buy your lighthouse. They think that's going to be a fantastic set in the future.
You're just adding it to your background.
Can both of them be trying to buy the lighthouse?
Information superhighwayman.
It almost makes more sense to me because Obsolete's whole thing is that the arts doesn't have funding, and yet they have no funding for the arts, but they have enough funding to buy a lighthouse, which, it's fine if the wrestling backstory doesn't make sense. That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, so you could take heat with both of them. So currently, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you have +2 with Overture, you got +1 with Information, and you got +1 with Hummingbird.
That is correct.
We're both bidding each other to get the lighthouse.
Yeah, it's constantly back and forth.
Sorry, can I check? Does that just go that way? We don't get it in return until
you don't get it until your.
Yeah.
Well, you're about to do your questions right now, Hummingbird. So, so ask your first heat question to the group, please.
My first one is: who can't remember who I am?
Oh, that's brutal.
Oof, so mean.
They're all quite mean. There's one that isn't.
I think that'll work for Beacon because you're trying to learn from him, and he
Great,
just can't remember your name.
Yeah, love that. Great.
Okay.
One.
Nice.
That's lovely. The next one is: who was my tag team partner before they made it big?
Ooh.
No one wants to be friends with Hummingbird.
No one wants to be friends with Hummingbird. That's all right. What's your next question? Don't worry. Some of these questions don't work for some reason, so it's
this
okay.
one I think will work probably. Who thinks they're too important to work with me?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not me.
Obviously, Overture will take that one. Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
What I was thinking.
I made it big
that's
enough
what
for
I
I
was thinking.
can't. Someone that's failing is always but to lose. I mean.
She's very good at losing. And the final one is: who is trying to get me bigger paydays to reward me for my work?
I'll do that.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Well, what would you say, Information? How are you helping Hummingbird in that case to help them get the money? Just to flesh it out a little bit more.
Like I'm trying to be like, I'm an older person, so I'm like, when they're like trying to get, I still draw a crowd, so I'm like, oh, I need someone on this. Someone's gonna lose to me. I'll pick Hummingbird. Like, so it's like there's a lot of jobbers, but I'm giving you like the special, like to give you more time to train, and also basically get, time on screen.
Yeah, you go to the people in the back and you go, oh, it could be Hummingbird that I beat this week. That
exactly.
Would be
Maybe because you trust Hummingbird to like do it well and like make sure like it's. I don't want to work with these newer jobbers. Hummingbird. Yeah, they're always here.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Like one, I trust that they're going to do it, and I'm a bit old. I don't want to like risk with an amateur. And two, maybe there's something in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, love that.
So you will have Hummingbird +1 with all the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Brilliant. The Information Super Highwayman. What are your heat questions?
Sure. Let's go with this one. I'm generally curious. Who have I decided is killing the business with their performance?
I wonder if that is, if I may slip in, I wonder if that's an Obsolete Overture one. Just because maybe you've got a very bigger, like, way of how you think things are being done. Like, it's a more flavoursome, more performative. That's what I would think.
Definitely more performative, going, a bit too over the top, almost ruining the key fab, but not quite getting there, and you probably don't take that in the nicest way.
Yeah, maybe because you are the hardcore versus the veteran. The veteran's obviously been around the block a little bit, so maybe they're like, no, that's not how we used to do it with the old ways of wrestling and stuff. And you're just self-indulging yourself and not following along with the key Fabe stories, perhaps.
Yeah, you're not engaging with the wrestling, you're using it as an excuse to have a musical, and I just don't stand for it.
You're also probably a bit jealous that they're also trying to outbid you on the lighthouse. So that's...
Actually, that's absolutely, you don't take me seriously for that. You've called out my conflicting backstory, and now.
Exactly.
Right. What's your second
Can
question?
I quickly jump in?
Go on.
There's been a really good suggestion in chat for the question that we didn't answer. From Spider Day Night Live. They said it would be hilarious if Beacon both was the tag team partner and never remembered Hummingbird's name.
Ooh,
so I wonder if you want to take
I actually almost said something then that could work pretty well.
Well, I'll tell you what, we won't add any more to the heat stuff because everyone's got +1 with that. But I put that into maybe keep a note of it somewhere because I do quite like that as well.
And that could maybe mean that she used to be called Seagull. and kind of went along with that, and then had to change her gimmick when Beacon went off with other people.
Oh, just having to wing it? That's terrible.
Oh.
I'm writing that down for a move name. That's good. Okay.
Just
All
winging
right. All right. Heading back to information. So what's your second question, my friend?
Who is my protege? I have an idea of who it might be, but Finn wants
Go for
to-
it.
I
Go
feel
for a
like
suggestion.
We've kind of like already did a little bit Hummingbird.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
would say
helping.
that
Even though I don't think we're on the same side, karma wise, heel or
but
baby
maybe
facing.
backstage.
But I think
like,
backstage protege makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Nice,
I'm like,
nice,
you'll
nice,
make
nice.
it, kid. And
And yeah, what's your final question?
who has no respect for all the work I put into this company?
Ooh.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Oh, brutal. Why do you think that, Beacon? Why do you have no respect?
Well, in the
for-
same way that he doesn't like how Overture does things now, I'm the same way with Super Highwayman. I'm like, bringing computers into this. It used to all be about like community.
Whoa. Super Hyman's my ex. We don't talk about her, okay? There was
Amazing. So I believe then, as well, information. You've got +1 with everyone, +1 heat with everyone.
Yes.
Obsolete Overture. What are your hummingbirds? No, I've got that on the brain. What are your heat questions?
First one I have is, who is willing to make me bleed?
Ooh.
I mean, if no one else will take it, I'll do it.
Hmm. Is that because you're following this lighthouse storyline?
No, it's also like you like I'm willing to like go that distance. I imagine a lot of other wrestlers are like a little too nervous to like go that far. But I'm like, no, you can take it. I recognize that you can handle it. I don't like that you want to do it, but I know how to do it safely, and I know. And also, I mean, I never really liked you. You deserve to go down, see some color.
I think there's an additional layer of like bleeding my bank account dry by outbidding me for this lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
I do like that idea that you like I respect you enough to know how to like play with you or wrestle with you safely. Because in my head I was like, you are definitely on some sort of board that cut the funding budget. I've just made you the villain in my mind, and I know that's not true. So
You're creative.
Oh my gosh,
You've made
no.
it true. You've made it true.
You're in all the adverts telling me to train up my technical skills and my like computer skills.
There's jobs in cybersecurity, absolutely.
Stop.
God, that's amazing. Yeah, so let's add a +1 to the information there. What is your second heat question, Overture?
Who has returned from an injury I gave them?
Go
I'll
for
take
it.
that one.
Yeah.
Right. For
Yeah,
you.
especially because I've been gone for a little while, possibly.
What injury do you think it could have been?
Probably my spirit.
Your
yeah,
ego.
I did my famous finisher B flat, and you took it as like mood wise rather than physically.
Yeah, it was gonna be my big retirement win, and then I lost.
Ooh, brutal. I love it. And your final question, Overture.
Who can take everything I can dish out?
Hummingbird have it.
Go
And
for it.
That's their that's why they're a jobber, right? They're there because they know anything anyone throws at them, they'll be able to kind of survive it and get through.
Do you think that also is something backstage as well? Because obviously in the ring you can take stuff, and like you're used to being like maybe looked down upon a little bit, certainly from Beacon, your old teammate. But do you see through Overture a little bit? Like you think it's all a facade, or do you respect it in some way? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I think she maybe respects it in a way, but is too scared to, say anything, and will kind of do what Obsolete needs her to do backstage, just because it's Obsolete Overture. Like, you're going to be good to Obsolete Overture. But
Unless you're in a bidding competition for a lighthouse, and then
Oh, absolutely.
Hummingbird.
That's private. That's
yeah,
not,
Hummingbird
that's
doesn't have the money
stage.
for that.
yeah, Hummingbird's trying to get more money just so she can maybe join the
being
bidding
true.
war for the lighthouse.
Great. Well, thank you. So now, so that is for Obsolete Overture. I believe that's another +1 to all your wrestlers as well. That every wrestler's got.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. So now all the heat questions have been answered and asked and answered. Now our baby faces, I believe that is Hummingbird and Beacon currently. Please take +1 with each heel. So that's Obsolete Overture and the Information Superhighwayman. And likewise, heels, I would like you to take another +1 with each baby face as well. And finally, if you haven't already, note down your starting momentum as per your audience score, which I believe for everyone is a +1 momentum. So you have +1 in your pool. I think that is everything. I think we're ready. We've got our wrestlers ready to go. We've introduced them to the audience. We've set up our a little bit of backstory, a bit of relationships. All the admin out of the way. Are you folks ready to rumble?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so last week on Worldwide Wrestling, I would like each of our wrestlers to describe what the last time we saw the wrestlers. It could be a match, like a highlight from a match. It could be a promo that you've put out on TV yourselves or an internet thing, a backstage interaction, or anything else that comes to your mind. And we're going to go in reverse order, if that's okay, because we've done it so much in clockwise. I see. Let's go for Obsolete Overture. Where did we last see your wrestler? What was sort of the highlight from the last time they were on Worldwide Wrestling?
I think what you're going to get is a bit of a montage. It's going to take you back to Obsolete's days on the stage. They're going to show them singing the high notes of an aria, and that's going to kind of play in the background of this entire montage. You're going to see them. Well, you're going to see them doing their famous B-flat move on Beacon with kind of the text of "Last time in the ring, they knocked out Beacon, the technician." It's going to cut to them shouting at Information Superhighwayman over finances, and then kind of pushing paparazzi out of the way, being like, "This isn't for you to see." Cutting to them again back in the ring, kind of little cuts on their face from being a hardcore. And I think just last time in the ring, they were there. They didn't necessarily win, but they made a statement for themselves. They kind of put a bit of tide on their back by just being a bit obnoxious the whole time.
I love that. I guess this is a question I'm just going to randomly throw in there. What do fans of the Obsolete Overture do to show their appreciation of you? Do they have like certain merch? Do they do a certain like song when you come, or a signal or a maneuver when you come on stage?
I think because he's so used to performing in like silent auditoriums where it's just their voice, to show their appreciation, the fans just go absolutely dead silent, particularly during the entrance and just after the final move, and it's just so unsettling but perfect.
I love that. Fantastic. Next up, the Information Superhighwayman. Where did we where did we see you last time on Worldwide Wrestling? What were you up to?
Last time we saw the Information Superhighwayman, he was setting up a kind of promo as the camera goes into what looks like a Minecraft parody, just like building up what looks like a lighthouse that's there with a sign that goes to "Sold" goes in. You see a 3D version of Information Superhighway holding TNT, and then just goes up, building goes down, and then you can see him just like smiling and just like pointing behind him, just a collapsed prone of just like a crying digital Beacon Silver, and then it goes to real life. He's holding a controller, and he's also pointing like, "Mix weak. I'm going to take you down, Silver, and your lighthouse." Then drops it, breaks the console, and then walks away.
Whoa! So it's like I can imagine lots of like electricity and wires coming up, and like just your eyes like
wires.
glowing behind us. So many wires. I love that. It's awesome. And same question to you: what do fans of the Information Superhighwayman do to show their appreciation of you?
You can identify an Information Superhighwayman fan. The newer ones, they got neon wires across their outfits, much like he has in the art. So I don't have real life. They got like the glowing wires. They start like, "Woo!" And they're just like cheering off. And the older ones, they got fake. They also got like fake cigars that actually just look like vapes. They work like vapes because you can't smoke normal things inside. You can see them, but yeah, they've got the glowing outfits, that kind of thing. Blue sunglasses, all that fun stuff.
Nice.
But no cheering, no coherent chant yet.
No,
We haven't got there yet.
They're more cosplayers, and they're more wires, and they're more like keyboards and various like old tech taped to themselves. Sort of, there's more like a ranking system, is what I imagine. Like
so much.
they have like keys stuck to their nails, perhaps. I don't know. That's what I think of these. Next up is Hummingbird. Hummingbird, where were you last time we saw you on Worldwide Wrestling?
I think Hummingbird doesn't actually get a montage for her, but she appears in every other wrestler on the promotions montage as someone they've destroyed. And so she never gets her own little like segment before the show starts. But you'd notice it in Obsolete Overture. She's there like wings askew in the corner of the ring. In the Information Superhighwayman, as they do their sort of big final move, it's Hummingbird that they're doing it on. And with Beacon Silver, they show a clip of like their old tag team and when they split up, and Beacon Silver just sort of walking away from who at the time was Gull Girl, but is now Hummingbird. And then all the other wrestlers as well, just in some way, shape or form beating up Hummingbird. But there is no Hummingbird package.
That is so sad. I appreciate you said, like, obviously your drive is to see someone with Hummingbird merch of some sort. Again, we don't know if there is anyone with that, but what kind of Hummingbird merch or signature stuff would you want to see in your fans if there were any?
So when she comes into the ring, she'll stand on the ropes and she'll do these sort of figure eight movements with her arms, and she's always looking around just to see if anyone's joining in, and that's what she wants to see, or like a little girl with wings on, or someone just holding a sign that says Hummingbird. She'd take anything at this point.
Oh, so sad. And then Beacon, where were you last time on Worldwide Wrestling?
The camera finds a man on a small rowboat in a foggy cove. In the distance, there's a lighthouse as he just quietly works his way to the shore, pulls out an old chocolate flip phone just to look at camera feeds of other coastlines, and just smiles before rowing. And this is near Crescent City, California, as he goes and gets into an old Volkswagen van with a gym bag he swore he'd never open again. And as he's backing out to head to the fight, you just see Battery Point as the sign of where the lighthouse is. And he just goes, Battery Point indeed. And that's it. He just drives by himself.
It's just some sort of black and white noir film a la Lighthouse Keepers. Like, it's super weird. No one's really sure, but it's like... Okay,
he's real bad at making them, yeah.
What do fans of Beacon do to show their appreciation?
Recycle is a big one. Help clean up their coastlines. But they also do like a deep foghorn type call when he enters the stage, at least when he used to.
Oh, I like the idea that there are at every single event there are so many recycling. It's spotless by the time people are leaving the arena. People are forced to take their cans, their buckets of popcorn, and there's several different bins as a result. My God, this is not unlike any event I've ever been to, and I absolutely love it. Right, okay, so the next part is we've seen our montage, we've introduced our wrestlers. It's now up to me, the creative, to book the matches. So this is the thing, I, as the creative, get to decide what segments are going to happen, which matches are going to be scheduled, and more importantly, audience, I get to decide who wins each match. And I will reveal it closer to the end of each match, which is very exciting. So, for our wrestlers, you need to know that for this first half, we're going to have 2 single matches between a babyface and a heel. And we're going to have interviews with each wrestler beforehand, before we end tonight's session with a regal wrangle. And I have already picked who I think, just listening to what you guys were saying, I've made a little note. So I have, like, the first match person here, ready to go. So, the first match I have decided is going to be between Obsolete Overture and Hummingbird. And I would love either Beacon or Information. Which one of you would like to start off as the announcer? Is there any takers on that front?
Oh, I'll do it.
Excellent, excellent.
Am I as my character, or am I just a random announcer with Elizabeth?
So you can be whatever you'd like to be in this. I am very open to it. The only thing to note is that if for whatever reason the information decides that like I'm bored now and tries and uses the run-in move, you are no longer the announcer, and we might have to give it over to Beacon as a result. That's the only thing you need to know. Match finishes, just so people know, it's either via pinfall, so making sure that the wrestler's shoulders are on the mat for at least 3 seconds, or submission. The wrestler who is in a lot of pain just says, "I quit, I'm out," just so you know. There's also other ways that we can win matches, and we can just go from there when we get to it. So let's get started. So imagine the scene of a giant big top. It is in the middle of a place where anyone from around the world, or worlds, I'm thinking multiverse at this point, because we've got wrestlers from all sorts, come here to view daily wrestling matches. And this is a big event. The Worldwide Wrestling Organization has hosted this massive, beautiful event where it's a big recycling event. Clearly, there's lots of bins. There's lots of little lighthouses, little pin badges, even snow globes for all kinds of use. Because this is a 365-day-a-year event. Inside the arena itself, we have the very traditional rope arena in the center with thousands upon thousands of tiered seating that, you know, you're at the top, you can't see anything. It's like teeny tiny people, but there are massive screens of all different versions which always flash on who we have coming up tonight. So there's, again, like you said, there's the montages for the information. We've got montages for the overture. Every so often, the noir film of the Beacon comes on. And people just go, weird, and then it's recycled with more lights and flashing, and then every so often like a spurt of fireworks. So, obsolete Hummingbird. Who do you think enters the ring? And then whoever enters the ring, I want you to describe your entrance. How do you come into the ring? And no, I lied. We're going to do interviews first. Rewind. We are backstage. We have the WWW sort of cloth backdrop. There is seats available. There's a very traditional interview stage. How do people come on to have their interview taken with our reporter Danny Minogue, who is like a very traditional-looking, very small man with a tiny moustache, who is clearly much smaller than any of the wrestlers who are very built and buff, like a thin 2D version of a man, who's sort of waiting patiently with his own, where's my microphone? With his own microphone, ready to do. Who would like to be interviewed first, and how would they enter the pre-interview stage?
Hummingbird is incredibly on time always, so I think she'd sort of be standing there ready and waiting to go, sort of looking for the nod from a producer or from Danny.
Eventually, there's like a sort of emotion over for Hummingbird to come and join. Does Hummingbird stand or sit, or like what's the plan for Hummingbird whilst the cameras start to flash?
Sort of
sits?
A little bit scared. She doesn't normally get to do interviews, so this is quite a big moment. So she's quite excited, but she's sort of sitting, kind of twitching a bit, and sort of trying to sort her wings and her hair out.
Oh. Hummingbird, thank you so much for joining us for tonight's match. Here with Obsolete Overture. How are you feeling, my friend?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Danny. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going out and showing everyone what Hummingbird is all about.
Fantastic. Any top tips or things to look out for our viewing audiences?
Oh, yes, you could look out for my finishing move, the bird feeder. And I'm going to try, and I'm going to win this time, Danny. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, we're feeling
in my wings.
In your wings. I was going to say your hollow bones, but it's fine. We've both got there on the same level. We have heard there are rumours, Hummingbird, of your old tag team, Beacon, also being on the roster. How are you feeling about that? Have you spoken to them recently?
I didn't know he was back. No, that's fantastic. I can't wait to see him. We're really good friends.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hummingbird, everyone. I would love you, Hummingbird, to roll me a promo. So when you take the mic and speak your mind, roll plus look, and let me know what you get.
Oh no, look's not good. But I rolled double 5s, so that's a 10, but it becomes an 8.
Oh wow! I was like, okay. So you have the audience's attention. Pick one of the following. So you either got make the creator book you in a match, add a stipulation to the relevant match, the other wrestler comes out in response to your promo, or gain plus heat with the subject of your promo.
Ooh, they're all good. I think maybe can we have they come out to respond to your promo?
Absolutely.
And would that be Beacon, I assume, because they're the one I've spoken about, or would that be Obsolete?
You've spoken about, it could be whoever you wish. You've spoken about Obsolete Overture and Beacon, so you could do that, yeah.
I quite like the idea that Beacon comes in and Hummingbird's like, oh, and here they are now.
I'll tell you what, yeah, that makes sense, because you've done it very quickly. So yeah, Beacon, you sort of maybe turn backstage wrong way, and there you see Hummingbird being interviewed by Danny Minogue.
Hi, Beacon, hi.
Honeyword. That's right. Honeyword. It's great to see you again.
Close enough. Yeah. You too. How's the lighthouse? I heard it was all a bit up in the air with Obsolete and the Information Superhighwaymen and ooh.
It is about 3 stories. Hasn't really grown much.
Right,
but
with the light on the top. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But yeah, they're trying to take it, so I'm here to hit them, I guess.
Right. If I can make enough money, I'll be right there with you, Beacon, because we go way back.
Sure thing, Shunny Bird.
Hummingbird.
Davis, good to see you again.
You remember?
Danny, but okay. Obsolete Overture, how do you enter the pre-interview stage?
I don't think I do. I think I'm still sat in my dressing room.
Danny comes and finds you.
Find me.
There's a knock on your dressing room door as you maybe somebody else, you get to open it. There is like a huge wad of cameras and Danny Minogue with their little microphone.
I am continuing to just put more and more white paste onto my face while this interview goes on.
So it sort of silos up in like on one of the small. I assume you have many poofs, like little like seats next to you, next to like what I imagine to be now like a free like mirror, 3 mirrors on a desk, and Danny's like, so Obsolete Overture, your first match tonight is against Hummingbird. How are you feeling about that? Are you ready? You warmed up?
Yeah, warmed up. Been working on my arpeggios, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of a job, that one with Hummingbird, but she might surprise us.
Hummingbird is their name, not Honeybird, but it's okay. It's like they have high praise about you. It feels like you've worked together quite often.
Yes, we have. I'm going to look over at my agent like.
The agent's like, yes, like
yes. I think our we play well together.
Any special moves that we should be looking out for in the ring this evening?
I think I'm going to definitely be hitting my high notes tonight, so look out for those.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. The final thing we wish to ask you about: we hear that there's been a bit of a backstage kerfuffle, a bit of some bad blood between you and the Information Superhighwayman. Do you want to give these rumors to rest, so to speak?
I wouldn't say they're rumors. I think the Information Highwayman knows exactly what they've done, and they'll be hearing from my lawyers shortly, I believe.
Oh, it's exciting stuff. Roll for me, cut for promo, please. So roll plus luck, 2d6, roll plus luck.
Okay, plus luck, which I don't have any of. Okay, cool. I got a 9.
A 9, so you get the same thing. You have the audience's attention to speak of it, so you can either make the creative book you in a match, add a stipulation to rules, add a stipulation to a relevant match. The subject comes. They come out to respond to your promo, or gain plus heat with the subject of your promo.
I'd like to gain some more heat with Hummingbird, I think.
Absolutely, yes. So yeah, add that to your sheet. You get some heat with them. So. The stage is set. The smoke, the dry air starts to come out as the lights start to go down, and a big light show starts happening, as with all these big wrestling things. The music gets incredibly loud with the bass. People put in their ear defenders, because we're that kind of audience now. And Hummingbird, how do you enter the ring?
So, the music gets very, very loud, and then slowly sort of drops, quieter and quieter, and you just hear birdsong. And The screens all just turn into this lovely sort of rainforest backdrop, and Hummingbird has been asking for a really long time if she can come in on like a zip wire and sort of fly down to the ring, but they haven't got the budget for it and they're not going to spend it on Hummingbird. So she sort of jumps out from behind the podium doing her figure 8 wings and is sort of looking around the crowd, big smile on her face, starts running down, going to like slap people's hands, and notices that people are using her entrance as a chance to maybe go and grab a drink and go to the loo. But she carries on, she runs up to the ring, jumps up from the floor onto the edge of the ring, and then jumps all the way up to the top rope and carries on doing her little hummingbird wing arms, and then does a little flip off the rope and stands hands on hips in the center of the ring, smiling into the camera. But you see sort of maybe a single tear running down her face, but she still isn't seeing any signs or any children in wings. And
yeah, it's also the light show as well. It's very hard to see people further back.
Yeah.
It is quite a packed house.
There, maybe.
They might be really back, the supporters, but the away fans might be very far at the top. But yeah, you go down to as you said, to high five people, and people actually sort of step back a little bit because clearly they're waiting for your opponent to enter, which they do. Obsolete Overture. How do you enter the ring?
Curtains that you hadn't really realised were there, but suddenly are there, open. The fog machine starts, and there's just pure silence. A conductor that you hadn't really noticed is suddenly by the stage and starts conducting a full orchestra. Unclear where they came from, but they're here, and they're playing Nessun Dorma. And just when that incredibly deep voice starts to come in, Obsolete starts walking out and is singing, is that deep voice, and is kind of looking around at all the fans, really kind of trying to amp them up, being quite aggressive with them, maybe, if they're kind of coming towards her, like pushing them out the way. Gets up onto the stage, raises her 2 hands and claps, and then just silence. Conductor and orchestra sit back down.
I like the idea. Yeah, you step there. I like to even think that some of your fans have brought opera glasses to sort of look down at you and sort of peer down. Brilliant. So yeah, you sort of enter the ring, both of you sort of circling each other, and we're about to begin. Before I check in on our milestones, because I need to know how much momentum we've got and who gets what, I would like to ask our announcer, what in sort of a little table, weirdly like a judging table, a little bit further back, who do we see announcing this match?
So, sitting there, somewhat reluctantly lounging over the chair, holding his oversized microphone, we see the information superhighway man. He's got his hat down. He's looking fairly bored as he's just like sit there, just like that. He clearly was not supposed to be on announcing today. It's supposed to be someone else, but someone decided to make a French art movie instead of showing up for announcing. So here I am. And he has complained about it to creative. And it's like, well, the show's already beginning, but I don't know if this is a wrestling match or The Voice. All right.
Fantastic. So one thing I'm going to say is that I know we've hit a couple of our milestones, but I'm going to give the first. I think for the first momentum, I'm going to give both Hummingbird and Obsolete Overture 1 momentum each. I'm also going to say in the chat, because I know we've hit another milestone of 25, which is fantastic. Chat, I want you. Hopefully, Sam, our wonderful producer, will put up a vote in a couple of seconds' time, roughly about a minute or so, and you can get to vote who gets the extra momentum that we have achieved. Is it going to be Hummingbird or is it going to be Obsolete Overture? So I'll let Sam handle all that. I hope that's fine, and then we'll just get kicking off right away. And of course, I choose who has control of the match before we begin, and control of the match will go back and forth. So I'm going to give the control of the match first off to Hummingbird. Hummingbird, how do you start the match?
She moves up to Obsolete and offers a hand to shake hands.
I'll shake your hand.
Oh, and
it's quite a firm grip.
And so she lets go, and she sort of steps back a bit. She's not, and then sort of looks at Obsolete and is like, okay, we're doing this, and is going to immediately try and just sort of lock up with Obsolete and go into sort of some of her more technical wrestling. So she's sort of going to lock up and then try and sweep Obsolete's legs to bring her down to the mat.
How does Obsolete respond to being locked up and almost getting swept?
I think when you come to lock me up, I'm gonna try and like cinch you in my treble cleft, and just kind of grab you, almost like a headlock, but kind of holding you quite close and still.
And then response to that?
So is this? It just sort of goes back and forth. Right?
Go back and forth until because you've got control of the match. Yeah.
Great. So I think as you get her in the headlock, she pushes off with her feet on the ground and manages to lift her legs and hook them around your neck, and then sort of dusts her little arms as she's going and sort of flings her into the corner. And then
I love that.
She sort of lands carefully on her feet.
That sounds like an athletic feat check. So when you just demonstrate extraordinary strength, roll plus body. And Hummingbird, you get another momentum. The chat has been very kind to you.
Chat, I love you.
You do have fans out there.
I
There's
know,
someone
They're
doing
not in
this
the
at
actual
home.
arena, though. Okay, there we go.
Roll plus body.
Plus body is an 8.
An 8. It's a cool move, but you do show the strain. Gain +1 momentum, and pick either you do it, but it hurts. You have to forfeit your next scheduled match whilst you recover, or someone steps in to cover for you, and you pull it off with their help. If it's another player wrestler, they gain +1 momentum. And what I'd say for that, if you want to choose that one, I have something for chat can do it in that time. But as that's going on, whilst you have to think about that, announcer, how does this look to you from the outside?
All right, we're looking at Well, then we see them. Looks like an ordinary lockup. Oh no, Obsolete Overture's making moves. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at that. Her legs must be hollow because Hummingbird's moving like she can fly. Oh my! I don't know if she can really pull this up. Look at this. Oh my! Where's Hummingbird? This Hummingbird been all season?
Perfect.
Do you want a 10 plus? Do you want to go over?
You can do if you want to put over now, but you can also save it. It's only one wrestler per match. It's more. You can add color commentary as we go along.
Sure. I'm not pushing you over. I'm letting you roll on the 8. So yeah, you're not getting pushed up yet.
Yeah, I'll keep the 8. I'll go with someone stepping in to sort of see it through if that works in this situation.
Yeah, that absolutely. So chat, back to you, my friends. So I would love people in the chat to come up with wrestler names for me, and we're going to have another wrestler come in from the chat. I'm going to have producer Sam to pick their favourite after a minute or so, and they're going to come in and help you. So whilst that's happening, you fall and you like, and you can see Obsolete Overture is struggling a little bit. What I would suggest, Obsolete Overture, to see that Hummingbird is trying to recover a bit, you could take the interrupt move at this point and get control of the match.
I would love to interrupt. I think I'm going to stumble back after you've thrown me across the ring, but I'm going to watch you, and it looks like that was tough for you. So I'm going to get up, and I'm going to start running towards you.
All right. You're going to take control. If you're going to interrupt, I need you to spend 1 momentum. How you go towards it, and then narrate the next sequence.
I've spent that momentum. Fantastic. So yeah, I think it is a case of running, leaning forwards, and I'm going to hold up my opera glasses, and there we're going to kind of almost a headbutt, but it's the opera glasses that are going to really kind of smash into you, and that is going to be my my C sharp move.
My little bird bones, no.
Yeah, and I'm going to kind of push that into you so that you fall backwards onto your back.
Absolutely. Whilst you're doing that, I would love you to make for me an athletic feat. Well, is it? I think, it is an athletic feat move because you're showing that prowess a little bit, and you're doing this move as well before we're doing actual wrestling. I think.
Cool.
And
is that with plus body?
That's roll plus body. And producer Sam, is there a name for our wrestler that we get to share? Oh my word. Very good. Okay. We'll finish off this sequence and then we'll introduce that wrestler. So what did you get for your athletic feat?
I got a 7.
A 7. So it's a cool move. Gain plus momentum and choose one or the other. So either you do it and it hurts, you have to forfeit your next match if you recover, or somebody else comes in to cover for you and you pull it off with their help. If it is another wrestler, they gain plus 1 momentum.
I'm pulling in someone else. If you're pulling in someone else, I'm getting someone else in here. Let's get this ring full.
Okay.
How many people can we get in the match?
I'm sure we can. Producer Sam, pick your second favourite wrestler name, and we'll talk about what happens. So yeah, there's all sort of going back and forth. There's definitely aggression coming from Obsolete Overture. And then suddenly, Hummingbird, you can feel like a shadow fall over you as amazing. Sorry, I just saw the other wrestler come into the chair.
That's so good.
A hulking individual, covered in almost like fake fork fur, wearing dungarees with lots of pockets and stuff, comes in and hoists his Hummingbird to their feet, and they're like, "You got this, bro." As the bear in the woods appears from nowhere to help you up and get you back into the ring. Another one of the wrestlers on the roster that is not scheduled for tonight. Obviously, Overture, from your side of the ring, you hear a and you see a very thin individual with massive glasses, a huge clipboard, and you know this wrestler to be Peer Review, who's on your side and is like sort of making notes, technical adjustments so that can get the weaknesses and maybe how you could fire Hummingbird at some point. I don't know.
I don't think Peer Review has ever been on my side before now, so this is
When you're a heel.
exciting.
Yeah, they sort of look down and you can see there's a small like Fund the Arts like pin that they've got on their lapel, so probably like that.
Nice.
You still have narrative control, Obsolete Overture. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pick up Peer Review over my head and throw him at the bear in the woods.
Yes.
Brilliant. You know what? I love that. That is going to be a... Let's make that a... I think that is just going to be a... Oh, where has it gone? Sorry, I've lost it in my thing. Just do another... Yeah, I think it is. I think it is a wrestling role. So I'm trying to find it on my thing. There it is. Wrestling move. Yes, when that sequence. So yes. So if you're showcasing physical strength plus body, you're showcasing a technique, roll plus work, or if you're working with an opponent, roll plus heat with them. You don't have any heat with Peer Review, unfortunately. They are non-playable wrestlers. But so you could roll just straight as a result. And the other thing to say as well is that once you've rolled, you could always add momentum to bump up your success.
Do we add heat with each other when we do these rolls in this round?
Only if it asks you to. Only if it asks you to.
Cool. Do I burn momentum if I add it here as well?
Yes. If you wish to add it, it's a 1 point per point burn.
Got you. Okay, well, I'll do a straight roll and see what happens. Which is a 7.
7. So you keep their attention, choose whether to hand over control of the match to your opponent, which I would say is Hummingbird, and gain +1 momentum, or you retain control of the match.
I like to retain control of the match, I think.
Awesome. So yeah, so you pick up Peer Review, who definitely wasn't in the ring, but now totally is, and the bear in the woods goes, huh, and there's just a smashing of these two wrestlers being pushed out of the ring. Hummingbird, you do not have your opponent, your someone to help you at the time, so you're sort of trying to get back up, but Obsolete Overture still has control of the ring. If you wished, Hummingbird, you can spend 1 momentum to interrupt and gain control.
I think Hummingbird is used to just other people having control in the matches, so I'm gonna leave it with Oh, do all these momentums go at the end of a match, or do they go at the end of the session?
End of the session.
Great. Okay, in which case now I won't spend.
Man, if a bear falls in the woods like it did now, does anyone even hear it? Well, at least let's focus back on the match.
Great.
Obsolete Overture, you still have control of the match.
Okay, now I've taken out the bear in the woods with Peer Review. I'm gonna kind of zone back in on Hummingbird. I'm gonna kind of reach over the ropes and pick up one of the violas and the bow with it.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna smash that over your head.
How do you respond, Hummingbird?
So I assume I take the smash.
You can do, yeah. So it's like a 1, 2, 3 essentially.
Okay. I think as you hit her, you maybe knock her backwards, and she bounces off the ropes, and then leaps and manages, like with her arm flapping, manages to like fully fly over you and land the other side, and then turn back around and maybe tries to do like a roundhouse kick. Actually, you know what's fun? As she's flying over you, she sort of tries to like stamp her little bird feet on your head as she goes over and then drops down. Physics don't matter in this game.
No.
I'm not gonna like that. You're ruining my hair, dude.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So how do you respond then?
I think I'm gonna try and duck and protect my hair. And as I'm kind of ducking, lean back and then forward and like throw a kick.
Throw a kick. Okay, that sounds like a wrestling move. I realize we're doing an in-ring move. So yeah, do a roll plus body, please. You're showcasing your physical strength.
Ooh, which is a 5.
Oh, you've botched it. Unfortunately, you have botched it. So you botched the spot. Your opponent describes how they counter or save you from disaster, and they take control of the match.
Counter or save you from disaster. Okay. I will. So you're trying to kick me backwards, basically. Is that what
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as you kick, you maybe trip a little and go to fall backwards. And I think Hummingbird sort of reaches out, grabs your leg, and sort of tries to turn it into a move where she then tries to sort of spin you around. And she's very small, but she's surprisingly strong for her size, like Hummingbird. And then she sort of spins you around and then drops you in the corner.
I like the idea you do say Hummingbird very quietly to yourself as a Hummingbird.
Whirring bird. I don't know. I could do better. But yeah,
Very
that's
good.
I think so. I'll stop her from being hurt by doing
All
that.
right.
As you're spinning me, though, I think I am doing the arm thing.
Incredible. Hummingbird, you have got control of the match. Is there anything you'd like to do? Yeah.
So I think while she's in the corner, I will get up on the ropes behind her, and I'm going to attempt to do the bird feeder, which is where she goes from the top rope and sort of does a flip and then grabs the sort of the neck of the person as she comes down and then pulls them down with her as she hits the mat. And that's just her, maybe not finisher, but like signature move or like big thing that she sometimes gets to do, but not often.
That sounds like to me you're showcasing your technique with wrestling, so I think it's a roll plus work for you for this one.
Right. And I can add momentum if I want to.
After you've rolled, yes.
After I've rolled, okay.
Yeah, if you would like to.
You know what? I am going to add 1 momentum because otherwise it would be a 9 and that will make it a 10.
Oh, the crowd goes wild. They pop as you nail the spot. You retain the match and you gain +1 momentum. Suddenly it's incredibly loud. What was really quiet before, again, thanks to Obsolete's like overture sort of silence thing, the sort of smacking and breaking on the mat itself. Suddenly the whole crowd goes, who is this person? Who is Hummingbird? And there's people are going, and you hear little shouts of like, Hummingbird, Hummingbird, very, very quietly.
He's going to immediately stand up and just start doing the arms, like looking around desperately, and is just almost forgetting where she is now, just lost in the moment of people having a look.
I'm going to interrupt then.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, spend 1 momentum if you got it, and narrate how you counter.
I've got it. I'm going to do a heal move, and I'm going to notice this happening, and I want to hurt you, and I want to do something a bit underhand here.
Oh my word.
So I think I'm going to go and I'm going to like stamp on the back of your heel to kind of hit like, your tendons, your ligaments, and have you kind of collapse to the floor, and then put one of my feet like on top of you, kind of just holding you down.
Wow. So with your heal move, just to say that if you do something underhanded to get what you want, which you're absolutely doing, you have to spend 2 momentum and then pick one of the following. So you leave someone helpless lying on the floor, gain +1 heat, postpone one of your matches, doesn't matter, or cheat in order to book yourself to win the match. So do you have 2 momentum to spend?
I do have the 2 momentum to spend.
Oh, dear.
And yeah, I'm gonna, I think, leave you helpless on the floor.
Brutal. What I would say to Hummingbird, just in case, is that you can use your babyface move to stop this villainous behavior happening if you would like to. When you stand up for something you believe in, which I think you are doing, you're believing in yourself for once, you can spend 2 momentum to pick one, which is the same sort of things, but exposing villainous behavior to book a character to lose a match. So that's the thing. And I will reveal who I booked to win this match in a second, but out of interest, Hummingbird, do you want to do anything?
You know what? I think I'll spend my 2 momentum, and can I kind of retroactively have it be the leave your opponent speechless, and that's kind of what triggers this move.
I like this.
Yeah, and I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're working together essentially on that front.
Exactly.
So I will reveal who I mean, you've already kind of done it, but Obsolete was the person I chose to win this match. So Obsolete, you go forward. You rather aggressively, kick or hit the back of Hummingbird's heel. maybe, I don't know, are you shocked? Are you hurt by what Hummingbird did? Like, she left you speechless. So how do you finish this match?
I think, yeah, I am speechless. You're supposed to be the one that loses. You can't then push me over and win the crowd over. So I think there is an element of really actually being annoyed by this, but also that, well, I have to win. This is how I'm going to make back. So yeah, I think leaving you helpless on the floor, keeping you down, and then kind of just, you know that move where they like lift the person's legs and kind of fold them in half and just holding you down like that and kind of muttering in your ear the whole time, this is going really well, really nice work.
I was like, ow, yeah, my foot hurts. Ow.
And you hear the countdown of like 1, 2, 3, and then the crowd goes wild. There's an uproar, like there is a standing ovation for Overture. Like goes around, it goes Overture around all the things, drowning out, unfortunately, the Hummingbird like sudden little chant that was going on.
If I may, while Hummingbird loses, their eyes catch a form at the very top cheat seats, doing a very familiar hand motion with a little sailor hat and just tears.
Beacon? Beacon? And then just, oh my god. And then sort of rolls out the ring and knows she has to kind of quietly get to the back because Overture's having her moment now. And but it's like, oh my gosh, and just sort of still really happy and just going to the back, maybe like gives one little kid a high five as she goes past, and it's just like, yes.
It's a kid that was on their phone, and then maybe you high five their face accidentally because they were not paying attention. Brilliant. So that's the end of our first match. What happens now is that we need to check if you've completed any of your advances. So I would say, Hummingbird, you kind of did get your want. You completed your want. Somebody was doing the Hummingbird. Someone was doing that. So you get to have one of your advances. So you feel free to take one and let me know what that is, and then come up with a new want for you for when we do the Regal Wrangle. Because I definitely know you got one. Obsolete Overture, did you complete any of your advances?
I didn't. If I got injured, I would have, but no.
No, did not.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Is there any final things we want to say from the announcer before we go into our next match?
Yeah.
I think I'll just.
Go for it, Alex. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to take the microphone off the announcer and just hum like a perfect pitch note. And then every single glass in the entire place will shatter, and then I'll just walk off stage.
Ooh, roll work at the audience. Roll audience, whatever your audience thing is now, because I think you're trying to pump up the audience to get even more. I'd love to know what.
That's 10.
10. They pop big. If you want, you can spend momentum to gain 1 heat with your current or upcoming, or else you bask in the moment and gain 1 momentum. I'd say gain 1 momentum for this.
I'm going to gain a momentum because I am now out of momentum. So
yeah, absolutely. Sorry, information superhighwayman. You were going to say something as the announcer.
I was like, microphone was stolen, glasses shattered. Have to get a second pair of sunglasses out, put it on. And it's like, great. It's like, well, that woke me up. Glad to see the match went on well with obsolete, great, appropriate name. As we get ready for the real show, grabs the camera, points it. That's coming up next. I go up against another obsolete person, and he's like, Beacon Silver, and I can see him. He's off in the crowd, like trying to hide, do his little moment, like, yeah, I see you coming out trying to chant B. I'll get you next, and then drops the microphone.
I bloody love that. I think whilst a cheap heat is when you're insulting the audience or the hometown. I love the fact you've just insulted Obsolete and the wrestlers here. Take a +1 momentum, my friend. That was brilliant. So let's go then to the second match, which, as you've rightly predicted, is going to be between Beacon and the Information Superhighwayman. So let's go into our interview stage. Beacon, I think you're there with Danny Minogue. Where do we find Beacon before the match?
Probably in a very basic locker room. He's still watching those Tide cameras and just smiling. He loves watching the ocean. His thoughts are with family, as they usually are. So yeah, Davis, the thing is, if you get the tuna straight from the boats, it's just way better than if you go into town.
it's Danny, but fascinating. I was really here to hope to get to your thoughts on your upcoming match with the Information Super Highwayman. I hear there's been some bad blood between you and them.
Oh, can't have bad blood if there's no heart in it. I doubt he has bad blood with anyone.
And any thoughts on our previous match between Obsolete Overture and Hummingbird at all?
Kind of a somberness on its face for a moment. Honeyword is one of the best wrestlers there's been. One day they'll get their moment. The other one's trying to get my lighthouse. They're after two different things. You know, choose your hero.
Danny Minogue takes a moment and then composes himself and then says, but surely you, Honeybird and or Hummingbird, you knew them in a different life. Were they not your seagull to your beacon?
Eyes look out far. You know, reincarnation's hard for me. Maybe I did know them at one point, but I used to wrestle with them. I don't know if you knew that, Davis. Weathers? Sorry. But no, I'm just happy to be here again. It's nice.
They take a fisherman's friend, absolutely, and they wince at the taste as you're talking.
I want everyone to do well, except for the people I hate.
I think that's a sentiment that we all would agree with. But Beacon, and there's a promo happening behind them, like all the montage of like your final tag team match where Beacon you left Hummingbird, and they're like, but you were the one that left them behind. It wasn't Hummingbird. It was you. I mean,
Davis, that's how tides are.
Danny.
No, Beacon. Sorry. When the tides pull out, you can't resist. I mean, what am I going to do? Stay here on land? It was time to go. Hummingbird's done nothing but soar since then, so it turned out good, I think.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck with your upcoming match, and well, tides may turn. As Danny Minogue goes, I have no idea about puns at all. Thank you very much. We have hit another goal, stretch goal. Oh, Danny is like... Information Highwayman, for your interview, do you leave the side of the arena, or do you...
Did you want Beacon to roll cut a promo?
You're absolutely right. Yes, could you roll cut of promo for me, please? 2d6 plus your look. Oh, you're on mute, my friend.
I am. I'd rather not, because that's a -2 also. That's a 3.
You know what? Weirdly, it's a botch and it doesn't connect. The audience has no idea what you're talking about. I think they get a lot of the stuff about fishing, like tactics and what's it called? Fishing forecasts as well. You talk about, and the director has cut away at this point, so they don't hear much about your beef with.
And my videos obviously like homemade, like clip art of homemade. Seagulls and water. It goes fuzzy a lot.
Yeah,
things like that.
It's definitely a reduced size down. So yeah, but you do gain 1 momentum. So that is very good. Information Super Highwayman. Where do we find you for your interview? Are you still by the arena, or are you elsewhere?
No, this is a earlier like promo that's kind of like happened there. He's like in a different kind of outfit. He's like in that thing they put on when you're doing mocap for a video game, and you can see he's doing punches, things, and you can see on the thing it's a 4D Worldwide Wrestling video game, and it is him beating up Beacon Silver like an NPC version, and it's just like dropping him, and it's like, oh, Danny, didn't see you there.
Sorry, we didn't mean to interrupt. We wanted to check in about your match with Beacon happening very, very shortly.
As he says that, the word KO comes out right behind him. Like, I think it bodes well. Oh, Silver hasn't wrestled in ages since he, what was that? Had a broken heart. What is he? Leia, like one of the characters from the prequels. I don't know. And he's like, there's like whispering, like, no, it's Natalie Portman's character. And he's like, right, yeah, her character. And you can feel he's struggling a bit. Like, listen, it's fine. If he wants to pretend to being a wrestler again, try and get some money to try and save his lighthouse, he can try. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna get it.
Can you tell us about any of your techniques, any of your moves that we should be looking out for within your match?
Oh, yeah, excellent. I've been working on some good moves. Danny grabs Danny close because Danny's not holding the camera. Well, first up, when he comes to swinging at me, I'm gonna block and then put his arm around Shane, bring him down, then like take Danny down onto the ground, like then make sure I'm in complete control. There's no alternative, and then boom, bang him on the ground. Delete him. Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, my nose! I think it's broken. Roll. Cut a promo for me, please.
There we go.
Davis, no.
Davis. Oh, first time rolling the
Everyone's
dice
favourite
today.
interviewer, Davis.
Davis. Oh, Davis. 10.
10. You connect with the audience. You can pick 2. So you either you can get the creative to book you in a match, add a stipulation to the relevant match. The beacon comes out in response to your promo, or you gain plus heat with the subject of your promo.
Definitely want to get heat with the subject of the promo, and
Alright.
I'd like to add a stipulation to a relevant match. And you can tell me if this is something you already had planned.
No,
I'm gonna
go
say,
for
like,
it.
Yeah. Like, listen, and I want to say, we're not wrestling where everyone's expecting it, and it basically cuts. We are wrestling on top of the lighthouse. Just like that's where the wrestling is happening. Or at least something that looks like it to the audience.
You know what? I love that. That's absolutely not what that rule's for, but I bloody love it. Tell you what. We have moved time dimension. You've set the location to be almost like, it's hardcore. We're going to say this so that if you are chucked out of the big top for whatever reason, you're going to fall a long way for this particular match. So that is the stipulation for this. If there's a big botch and you're being thrown out, you might fall off the top of the lighthouse.
Can I say it's raining to go along with it?
Oh, there's rain, there's fog, maybe there's a sound below of the lighthouse going brrr, like it is wild. I absolutely love that. All right, so audience, whilst our wrestlers are getting into this next match and coming in with their entrances, I need you to vote who gets the momentum for this match. Is it Information Superhighwayman, or is it Beacon? Do a vote in the chat if that is okay for you, Sam. I will write out who I've picked, who I want to win in the match. I've booked who I'm going to win. Let's start off with Information Superhighwayman. How do you enter the ring for the start of your match?
All right, so losing the audience immediately. There's the sound of a helicopter in the rain, just like coming down. Ladders come down, but it's not a ladder. It is a series of wire cables as he's just like coming down, dropping all this electronics, this dangerous electronics to have in the water, in the rain, just like tossing it down. He's there, just like looking out, shouting while trying to hold his hat because it's very windy. It's just like, "Where are you, Beacon Silver? Are you afraid to fight me, the Information Superhighwayman? Let's see what the poll's saying, and it's not looking good for you. Go and hide."
There's definitely graphics of like brrr, like there's that like down voting sort of thing going on behind you, various but it's all taken from memes like stonks, that sort of like weird meme thing that's going on behind you. Yeah,
exactly.
Brilliant. Beacon, how do you enter the ring?
Oh, it goes so quiet, Fiona. It goes so dark in this place. And then one low foghorn starts coming from somewhere. And it's almost like a parade float that's been hand painted, like a Gone with the Wind type backdrop with just fog everywhere. And in the middle stands Beacon holding a torch above his head that just shoots light in every direction. And on the wall, it projects a heart around the name of whatever this city is. Because I'm going for a little bit of cheap heat.
Ooh, I
love
that.
Wrestling in here. Type of thing.
It's kind of like I like that. Yeah, I'll give you +1 momentum for that. But I think because people don't know where it could be set anywhere, it is like wherever we are right now. It's just like a lot of text put in there. I will say, audience, you could not pick between Information Superhighwayman or Beacon, so as a result, they both get another +1 momentum because that is the fairest I can do. Other wrestlers who would like to be an announcer for this game. Again, you can jump in at any time, offering color commentary. You just have that put over move you can use once on each wrestler. Who would like to do it?
Do you want it? Or I'm happy
I
to do
think.
it.
I think
we
go for
lost
it.
Alex. Maybe.
I think we've lost Alex currently. Obsolete Overture is probably away doing something singing. So do you want to take it, Hummingbird, and we'll see if Alex
is it
comes back to us.
Hummingbird doing it, or is it?
Up to you.
I might be a different person, just
All
to
right.
make it. They wouldn't let Hummingbird do commentary. There's no way.
Absolutely. Yes, it seems that Alex has disconnected. So we'll come back to them if they hopefully reappear. Could take a break as we're at halfway through. Let's finish off the announcer thing and then we'll take the break if that's all right, because we're quite close. So how does he announce? Who is announcing this match? They're on a little trestle table at the side.
It's funny you should say trestle table because they've got a lot of carpentry equipment. This is wood chip.
Incredible.
And quickly think of things. And they go, so this is the intro to the match, yeah?
People they're just getting ready to go, essentially, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, please take your seats. We are about to witness greatness. The one, the only, the information superhighwayman. When I was just a little wood chip, I remember them when they were just the superhighwayman. But nowadays, well, Data, I suppose. And facing off against, he's back from his injury. It is the wonderful Beacon Silver.
The audience goes absolutely wild. There is cheering, there's whooping as the referee comes in and is about to start his countdown. But as one of the producers noted, obviously Alex has come back in the Zoom call, but we'll make sure they're okay. And also, it is our halfway point, so we're going to take a quick break. Oh, what a cliffhanger for this, our second match. Thank you so much. Please keep following us. Keep watching the stream if you would like to. If you are able to donate, please do so. We very much appreciate it, and see if we can get more momentum and maybe some more wrestlers out for the Regal Wrangle in the second half. Regal Wrangle. So we will wave awkwardly at the screen until we get put on. See you soon. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Oh dear. I'm sorry to tell you this, Katanga, but I'm afraid that this misery high bluff you keep talking about has just been a figment of your imagination.
Can Katanga make an insight check?
Absolutely.
Do you want me to roll deception?
No point, because that was a natural 1.
Well, if I notice this mid-smooch, can I flick my tongue out for a quick taste?
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check, I guess.
What is with your characters and tasting things? Look, it's helpful.
Mate, we've talked about these these body image issues, and like you can't be comparing yourself to like refreshing beverage cunt of all people.
Most of the fleas, because I assume Dream isn't actually being all that careful.
No.
So a lot of the fleas do manage to like jump ship. And I don't know what happens if you pour bleach on a flea. They might be fine.
It might disintegrate, I don't know.
Yeah.
Google it.
What happens when you bleach a flea?
Live Psycom coming straight at you.
Look, Psycom's just being... Okay, so...
That name.
So when the Sex Muskets sing, "God save the Queen," they actually literally...
Yeah, they're quite sincere. A fascist regime which we approve of.
I called out with my own deep throaty alarm call as well.
What are you doing down here?
Oh, we're just taking a shortcut. You know, just traffic.
We're fumigating for sewer clowns here. You can't be here.
Oh no!
Oh, I've been called worse, but you better shut your mouth.
We all know the real sewer clown is Elon Musk and his tunnels, so... Kick me off Twitter, Elon, I dare you.
So, Boomslang will disguise himself as Reginar and be Big Spoon.
Okay.
I got you, buddy.
So we cut to a scene where this Yuan-Ti, this snake person, is spooning a pudding angel.
No. Snake person disguised as a halfling.
Yes. Oh. You're even bigger a spoon than I remember.
Yeah, I just, I used to have that energy.
Delightful. Angel Delightful. And then we fade to
Oh, is
black.
that your full name?
Fade to black of spooning.
I don't want to miss a thing.
So you see in the room Eridark Ariesis, who is a pallid elf fighter gunslinger. Do I have guns? Do I fuck? What you see.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to Worldwide Wrestling 2nd edition for this Science and Sorcery stream for Playing for Palestine. Welcome back. We're just about to start our second exciting match between Information Superhighwayman and Beacon at the top of a lighthouse, with an audience that are watching either very close to the lighthouse, maybe on like helicopters, or maybe just like on big screens lower down, as they see this giant fight happening with storms and lightning bolts and rain, a lot of rain happening. Along its side, we had the announcer that Emily was playing. Did we come up with a name, Emily? For
I
your
called them
announcer?
Woodchip, but
Woodchip.
Maybe Chip
Yes.
Wood is better. I'll say he
Chip-
said it was Chipwood.
Chipwood. I love
Chipwood.
that. Yeah, so yeah, we have Chipwood announcing this one for us, and we are ready to go. The referee comes and goes 3, 2, 1, and Information Superhighwayman, I'm going to give you narrative control to start this match for me, please.
Yes. Because I'm a ring general, which is a move I have, I gain +1 momentum when I start a match, which brings
Heck
me
yeah.
up to anyone keeping track, 4 momentum. Too much momentum, I would say. But let's go. Yeah. So I'm going to Information Superhighwayman walks up, holds out both his hands. He's like, I'm gonna offer you a trade. One, you back off, back home, get on your little tuna boat and give up like I know you want, and I won't kick your butt. And then slams his hand together, just like smashes against his ears, like box his ears.
Yeah.
Box his ears. And if that goes off well, tries to like bring it into like kneeing his face.
Whoa, Beacon, how do you respond to that?
Trick's on you. I haven't heard well for years. So, turning into my inner ocean, I'll just think to my head, drowning, and I'll just duck real quick, like collapse, to see if I can get out of the way of the clap in time. It looks terrible.
Yeah. How do you respond, Superhighwayman?
Once he like leans over, I'm confused, but then I lean in forward and try and like grab across, grab under him and try
through his legs.
Yeah. Woof. Spins around. Little kid, he's like, come. Yeah, damn it. Like, well, partner, you're slippier than one of them eels you get in your nets filled with all that mercury, and then just like goes in and tries to just like chase after him, like chasing around a wet ring.
Okay. I'm gonna make a move for that. It's very wet.
I'm gonna.
Does he get electrocuted?
May I?
Well,
may I just a move? Can I use put him over when you show vulnerability, to an opponent in the ring in order to make them look good? I think, like, as I'm chasing them around, I am playing up how slow I am, how much I'm tripping, how uncomfortable I am, and all this kind of on this situation to try and make him not look like he's being a coward, but actually just being very smart.
I love that. Sorry, what move did you say that was again? Just so I can have a quick look.
Put him over. It's a veteran move. When you show vulnerability to an opponent in the ring to make them look good, roll plus work.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was looking at my reference sheet. I was like, I don't have that. Yeah, veteran move. Fantastic. Yes, roll plus work for me, please. 2d6 plus work. And remember, you do have your momentum you can use after the roll.
Yes. I have to spend all of them. I can, like, portion it out, right?
Yes, so your momentum, you can do one at a time. You have no limit on momentum.
All right. So that is a total of 7.
Ooh, makes
so that
success.
means that means one of us gains +1 audience and the other loses loses audience. Your opponent chooses.
Ooh, Beacon, who gains audience?
Unless the announcer wants to increase it, but it's very early.
I'm going to say with that roll, it actually looked like Beacon was doing a bad job. So I think I would lose some audience, which would actually take me to 0.
Oh, well, you hit 0, so then +1 audience for information. If you go to 0, though, I believe that means you get an advance.
It does.
So are you going to take that now, or are you going to wait on that for a second?
I'm going to wait on that for a second.
No worries, we'll make a note. So basically, yes, certain triggers will get off advances for our wrestlers, which will improve their moves, maybe gain some other moves, or do something else with their thing. So just bear that in mind. That's very exciting. You still have narrative control, Information Superhighwayman, as you're chasing Beacon around. Again, it's slippery. You're all sliding over the place. The mat itself is trying to soak up a little bit of it. What do you do?
Yeah. I think what's it called? Like I slow down a little bit, and then I like turn, and then I basically just like pop my heels, which have Heelys in it, because why not? And then just slide, on the wet things, on the Heelys to try and like land into him, into a move that we have like prepared, where I would land into him, he would go low and then like toss me over his shoulder. So that's rolling plus heat with them. It's a wrestling move. So basically,
yes, it is. Yeah, if you want to.
I'm trying to make you look good on your first match back.
Go for it.
I have 3 heat with you because I've talked a lot of shit about you.
Yeah, and remind me which move this is again. Is it in
wrestling?
Move,
it's just the wrestling.
It's a wrestling move. Yes,
moves.
of course. Yes, the if you work with your opponent to showcase an. Yes, that's right. So you roll plus heat with them.
Flip me, fool. It's a 7.
A 7. You keep. Chat says information super Healy man. Amazing work, chat. You're very good at this. So you keep their attention. Choose whether you hand control over to your opponent and you gain +1 momentum, or you retain control of the match.
I give it to Beacon, and I'll gain momentum.
All right, so the control of the match goes over to Beacon. One thing I will say, chat, we did hit another milestone whilst on the break. So, chat, if you've got time in the next minute, I would love to hear your wrestler names, please, and see if we can have a maybe non-playable wrestler come up in the next few minutes. So, put in whatever you think, and producer Sam will choose a favourite. Announcer, is there anything that you would like to add as this sort of weird, sort of like Keystone Cops, sort of like sliding about the battlefield is happening?
Right, well, these 2 old-timers on the top of a lighthouse can't say we've seen that before, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. But, look, it's Beacon's first time back, so don't be too hard on them. And, Information Superhighwayman, he's been around a while, and I just think, can we get a chant going for them? Woo! Woo! And just gonna start like trying to clap.
It's very because the audience is so far away. There's definitely like a second or 2 beat after it's sort of streamed across. Beacon, the match narrative control is over to you. What do you do, my friend?
Well, having just had that nice jog, and I've realized I have an opponent in the ring. I forgot to worry about you during all of that. So I'll go to shake your hand, thinking we're just starting the match because you haven't been a threat since you walked in. And then I'm just gonna get very technical. Like, he wears almost an old-fashioned bathing suit looking thing, and he's just going straight for the grapple, like shoulder to shoulder. He doesn't need to do anything funny. He just wants to grab his opponent.
All right. Information Highwayman, how do you respond to this sort of grappling grab?
So he's trying to like grapple me. I try and like struggle and just like push back and try and get him into a grapple, leaving myself open to like him to put me into a tighter one. So there's that back and forth, like grapple, ungrapple, grapple, ungrapple, but make it seem like he can put me into hopefully a better grapple.
And I'll do that. Throw him into the ropes while I run in the other way, so we're both kind of going faster.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attempt to do my low tide, which is when I jump horizontal while doing that and take out their legs with my body.
Love that. Okay, that sounds like a wrestling move. Let's roll plus body, please.
Wonderful. That's an 8 + 1, so 9.
9. You keep their attention. Choose whether you want to hand over control to your opponent and gain +1 momentum, or retain control of the match.
I think I'm going to retain control of the match.
Nice. So describe how this move comes off. And thank you, chat, for the new new playable wrestler called Hot Flash. They will turn up in the next few minutes. I will work away how they get in this.
They sure will. So we go running in 2 separate ways, and then as we're heading to each other, Beacon just jumps horizontal and uses his body as a terrible club to just take out his legs. He wants him on the ground. He's good at the groundwork and the technique. So that's sort of his intent. Maybe just whispering into his ears, like, I've got who's it and what's it's galore, as he's just starting to kind of try to grapple him from the ground and keep him low. Does any of his electronic gear visibly flash, like there might be current within it?
I mean, all my my jacket's got like neon wires to it, for example. My watch, I've got like a big power glove that's like got all kinds of wires and currents, things that you can use.
Got like a whole bit of AA batteries, just like like suck it into one pocket. Yeah,
exactly. And just like, oh no, you used my Heelys against me by going against my legs.
I'm going to try to rip any of his gear to let rain into it to see if it gives him a little shock.
I feel that's actually could be quite hurtful to the opponent. So I think that's if you want to roll for work real stiff, roll plus real, please.
Oh no, plus real. 7 minus 1 for 6.
That is a botch. It hurts you, which is probably makes sense. You take
Shocking.
an injury. Shocking, indeed. You take an injury, so mark one of your injury boxes. Is there anything that happens when you trigger an injury beacon?
Not yet. If I lose a match due to it or push through it to win a match, something happens.
Good to know. That's something that's special to that particular gimmick, the technician. And it says here, the creative makes a hard move. So, there starts to be, Beacon, a little bit of booing as you're doing it, because you're ripping into a quite favoured heel, and as you pull out stuff, you're pulling off keyboards, you're pulling off, you throw off a Tamagotchi, and people go, oh, nostalgia, no!
Don't feed it!
It throws off to the side. You're going to lose one audience, because the audience is like, oh, this is a mean thing you're doing, even though you're taking the pain of it as well. And on top of that, coming into the ring from somewhere, they appear through like a trapdoor, and you see Hot Flash, the non-playable wrestler who, they are, I hadn't thought about this, they're just wearing hot pants. Very tight hot pants, a little bit of body paint in the style of a Flash, and just goggles, essentially. And they're sort of looking up. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they're covered in that sort of dry ice that look like steam, and they sort of come up and they sort of get out of the ring a little bit and start to prowl around, just keeping an eye on you. You know that Hot Flash is one of the top people on this roster, and if you put a toe out of line, they'll be hell to pay with their signature move of love hurts bites.
Fiona Howard, everyone. That's
thank you.
Well done. Yeah,
that's what we did this. Thank you.
Quick mechanic question: did that take me to -1 audience, or did I bounce back up to 1?
It will still. It's between 0 and +4, so you're still on that. So let's say then,
I had already hit 0.
You already hit 0. Tell you what. I've already said it. So yeah, you're still at just 0. Don't worry about it. I'd forgotten that you already done that. You still have narrative control, Beacon. What would you like to do?
I think he's going to calm down, realizing that this isn't the way to do it. He's just angry because he's trying to take us home. So he's going to back up. He's going to think about family, that he's doing all this for family. And I think I'm actually going to choose to give control to my opponent as a good, trying to be good sportsman. After tearing apart his Game Boy.
Oh, nice. You're doing a comeback, essentially. You're handing off the narration, which is great. The audience sort of quietens down as you sort of stand up and get back a little bit. Unfortunately, you do not gain any momentum because I think you've got quite a bit already. Information. You're on the ground. What do you do?
Yeah. So, what's it called? Well, he's throwing me, doing all that, that kind of things. What's it called? I am going to just stag, as he give me that pause, I do a kip up, and then thankfully the audience doesn't hear the sound of my bones creak a little bit because I'm a little bit too old for this shit.
Everyone in the Zoom call definitely heard it because
I grabbed my bag.
yeah, and I'm just hold up, what's clearly supposed to be a detonator, but clearly a button that connects to nothing, and he just says you think you can take me? Do you take me down? We're all going down, and then he presses the button that just triggers, the ring to start to shake, but the audience thinks that the tower is shaking. They think it's shaking, and it looks incredibly underhanded. Whatever I'm doing, this move that's shaking, to make him leave you helplessly on the floor. As I spend 2 momentum to do the heel move to basically just make him fall and land on the floor.
Oh, I love that. Yes, so yeah, you do your heel move, you pick one to leave them helpless on the floor. I'd also say, could you do work the audience with me? Because I think this is quite a significant thing. So roll plus audience, please.
Yeah.
Because the audience, it's we didn't see this coming, that this whole wrestling arena is going to just go down.
Yeah, so that is my audience. Let us go. That is a 13.
Oh my god, they go wild. They can't believe you're about to tear down this old, probably protected building in some way. You can, if you wish to, spend 1 momentum to gain another heat with your current or upcoming opponent, or else you could just take that 1 momentum as well if you'd like it.
I'll spend the momentum to gain heat with my next opponent, which I have no idea who I'm going to be fighting. So I'm going to give it with Obsolete Overture. Basically, yes. So what's this? I spend 1 momentum to gain 1 heat?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I do that, and then I'm just like looking to the audience, and I basically say like, Overture. If I can't get this place, nobody's getting this. Never getting this place. I'm bringing this all down.
I live here.
Yeah. You're not going to be doing a lot of either of that soon. I'm just like advancing on him, and just trying like, bring him down into a submission. I guess this is more wrestling.
Yeah. Roll plus body, I think.
There we go. Yeah, that sounds good. Is it body or technique? I'm fine either way.
Up to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to do grapples and things.
Yeah, that sounds like plus work then. Yeah.
Let's go. That is a 5, 6. I'm going to spend the momentum to bring that up to a 7.
All right, so yeah, you keep their attention. Choose whether you want to hand control over to the match and gain +1 momentum, or you retain control of the match. So it doesn't quite work. You're still getting you're getting your kicks in there. You're making the moves, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah. What's it called? Unless the announcer wants to say anything, I will pass. Okay.
Pass control?
Yeah, I'll pass over. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, it's all right.
I was reading rules.
No worries. If the announcer wants to keep it at a 7, I will pass it and gain a momentum. So
all right.
I've got them, but they have narrative control.
Perfect.
Sorry, I can't find these announcer rules anywhere.
I'll find them for you. Beacon, what are you doing?
I look at Hot Flash and be like, do you want me to be just another person forced into retirement from technology? You know what I'm talking about. You're sweating right now. And try to convince them to help me by grabbing my opponent. But either way, I'm just going to return the exact same technique type form he's doing and try to get him in like a crab hold. As I picture the crabs in the sea and I think of family. I won't use a Boston crab move. I'll use a California crab, which has a little avocado that I smear on his face at the end of it. Yeah. So that would probably just be wrestling.
Yes, it is. But does information do anything to respond to that at all?
Oh, he's trying to get. He puts the avocado in my face, and I just like back off. Like, oh.
That's the pits.
I hate this new California avocado overpass nonsense. And just like he's like scrambling back. Incredibly vulnerable. If someone wants to take after him while his eyes are covered, do you want to do that crab move?
Yeah, if you did the crab move, it sounds like a technique. So yeah, wrestling, roll plus work for me, please. Unless you've got a gimmick move that can also do something.
I will be just using my work. I have a +2 to that, but I'll.
Nice.
No, that's 7 + 2, 9.
9. So yeah, so you can choose whether you want to hand over control, or is the announcer doing something? Go for it.
I will do it this time. Give me a vague description of the crab, just so I know exactly what it is.
The crab?
Well, is that the move you said you were going to do? The crab?
That's what I was. Yeah, it's basically like sitting on him with his legs in one of my arms, trying to bend his spine a little.
Got you.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that for years, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Beacon Silver crab. It is painful. Trust me, I pissed him off once in a bar, and you do not want to be stuck in that for very long.
I remember that they pissed me off in a bar once, and my eyes turned just to look at them. Like,
I'm not up the lighthouse. You can't get to me.
Excellent. Yeah. So, and again, it is just like suddenly the move comes up, like crab move. Just like again, there's graphics go off, and there's little like crab emojis going off, and there's maybe some people. Yeah, people do like the claw thing as well. It gets the audience completely popped as a result. So you retain control and you gain 1 momentum.
And that was I was using the put over, so that
you
would take
did. Yeah. So that moved it. Yes, it's moved it up.
I see. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So you've done exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm just checking one thing. So, I'm going to tell you, because I can see we're into like the last bit, so I'm going to tell you who I booked to win the match. I actually booked Beacon to win the match. So, again, that does not have to happen. Does not have to happen. But if the but it's up to you guys what you would like to do. To win matches, I will say you have to use your babyface or heel moves, because that's how you book yourselves to win matches. So, with narrative control still with Beacon, what would you like to do?
I want to attempt to pin, but I have to use my babyface move, correct?
Yes, because that's how you book yourself in to win. Essentially, that's what I'm quickly having a look through here. Yes,
it looks like each character sheet, the technician, the thing, they all have.
Oh, you have your finishing move, don't you? I'm so sorry. You do have a finishing move on your character sheet. That is correct. Sorry, I'm looking at the general reference move, so I don't have all your things there. So yeah, if you've got your finishing move on your character sheet, please.
And I took Excellence of Execution, so I can add my work to my finishing move. So I'm going to attempt to do the jetty on him, where I try to throw him into a corner of the ropes where he's stuck, and then I'm going to climb up on top of him and just drop my headbutt on top of his head over and over again while yelling, "This is my space!" at him.
Anything from you, information?
I guess he's like down. I was like, my space is out of date, just like you. Embrace the new meta.
Unsubscribe.
All right. So one thing I would say is that your finishing moves, they don't roll with anything. It's just a straight 2d6. So that's why you have to sort of bank momentum to help you with it. So just to let you know, it is just a straight 2d6 if you want to do your finishing move.
Well, and with the Excellence of Execution, I can add my work.
You can, yes, because you specifically can do that. But in general, finishing moves do not require another stat.
Finally. That's a 9 plus 2, so 11. And I have 4 momentum at the moment.
That is fine. So describe what happens. What is the success outcome?
I just drop my head on him enough times that he just kind of teeters and says "You're out of," and then just falls forward. I don't even have to pin him. It's more like, oh, he's just knocked out.
Yeah. And the detonator falls clear from my hand, and you can use it to stop the tower shaking.
Just cuts the big wire, essentially. Fantastic. Yeah. You gain 1 audience as well with that finishing move as well. So congratulations on that front. Yes, you're like, and yeah, the crowd goes wild as a referee from a safe distance. Again, I like the idea that this lighthouse is probably dilapidated in some way, and now thanks to the rumbles and stuff, it is like even teetering a little bit. So the referee is just like looking over, going, 1, 2, 3, and then that sort of like ends the match then and there.
Seagulls just swarm me.
Fantastic. That's the end of the match. So
they've got a little bit of colour in their hair.
Does information or Beacon, do they get any advances from the finishing of the match? I know you got 1 Beacon from going to 0. Does the information get anything?
You lose to someone in order to make them a star. I think this counts. Maybe?
Yeah, I think that counts, absolutely. So yeah, you would take an advance in that case as well. The other thing to note, I'm just going to quickly check my notes, is that did you guys finish with +4 heat? Did one of you finish with +4 heat with the other wrestler at all?
I have +3.
No,
+3, unfortunately.
I have +3. I didn't know that was a goal. Otherwise, I would have done it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, it's fine. Basically, if you get +4 with a wrestler during a match, you get another audience. That is the only thing. The idea is that you're trying to get to the audience, sort of thing. So that's just me checking in on that as well.
I'm going to use my advancement just to take the +1 audience option.
Sounds good.
Just so I realised, because I don't have a finishing manoeuvre on, because I'm a jobber, but I have a do the job move where I'm always booked to lose. So when my opponent wins, I roll 2d6, and something happens. I rolled it. I got a 7, which is you do the job, choose whether you gain 2 momentum or 1 heat. And I'm sorry, I took the momentum.
No, fantastic. Thank you for being honest. And it's good to do that, because I did forget finishing moves were a thing. I just was like, I can't find them on this sheet. Fantastic. And out of interest, Obsolete Overture, what is your finishing move?
It decides whether or not I finish clean or bloody, and chooses whether I get injured or they get injured.
Ooh, because I know they technically got injured, but I like the idea that you are covered in blood though, still from nowhere.
Actually, take an injury, so I can take an injury.
Would you like to?
Well,
Can do.
I thought you did.
should I roll for it and see which of us?
Yeah, go for it. Roll for it. Yeah, roll that 2d6 for me, please.
I don't think I ever took the.
No,
to take the injury. I think.
No, you know what? It's because Beacon took an injury, right? Oh,
I got electrocuted.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, that was a botch, so I get to choose if it looks bad and I lose an audience, or if I go too hard and injure my opponent. So I think I will have probably have injured you with that heal move earlier.
No, that's fine. My foot
Brutal.
hurts a little. It's fine. I don't cry.
Do you get anything from your injury, Hummingbird, just to check? Because sometimes you do if you mark an injury, something happens.
It says when you get injured, check an injury box. If you play up your injury during a match, your opponent gains +1 momentum. So in the next match, I think I could
keep an idea of that as well. One thing I will say, if you'd like to, those people who are injured, if you do take an advance, it does clear an injury box as well. So I appreciate there's a lot of like, but this, and this, but it's good to know that in the future.
And that's not spending an advance for the injury. That's spending an advance on anything else.
It's in additional to.
Technically means my injury is cleared then, because
if you want to, it is optional. This is the thing. It's more like an optional thing if you want to take it or not.
I'm gonna keep my injury.
That's absolutely fine. No worries. And the same for you, Beacon. Are you keeping your injury, or are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. It really makes him feel electrified.
Nice. All right, team. So we head on back down to the safety of the ground for the final Regal Wrangle match. This is match 3. The idea of where this sort of match comes into it is that 2 of our wrestlers are going to start in the ring. I'm going to put those people in. I'm going to put Obsolete and I'm going to put Information in the same ring. And then at certain points, our other 2 wrestlers will have a staggered entry in. And essentially it is the last person to stay in the ring. The wrestling move is going to be changed to the Regal Wrangle move, which I did have somewhere, and I will post it in the chat as well. It just basically means that you have to get them over, as soon as they're out of the ring, they're out of the ring, essentially. So let's go to our quick little before the match montage. Does anyone have an idea for something they want to do, like an interaction backstage or an interview or anything like that? I'm going to open the floor to the team whilst I find this move to put in our chat.
I think I would confront the Information backstage. That was a grade 2 listed building, and you were trying to knock it down. Do you not understand the value that has to the heritage of the country? Do you not understand how that inspires thousands of people? And you're trying to undermine the arts in that way.
Listen, Obsolete, the only value I understand is dollar, and occasionally doge, you know? So if it ain't, if the numbers don't go up, your things about the arts and the value, it don't matter, you know? All your music, all your art, few years from now, gonna press a couple of keyboards and make it ourselves. You artists have had it for too long. The real people are taking over now.
Real people. We all know that's artificial intelligence. We know that's where you got most of your look from.
Listen, I'm on the side of the machine, so when the Terminator comes, they know who buttered their bread on the right side, you know?
I feel like Obsolete will have been lost by the buttering of bread and the Terminator and be like, is that a Spielberg?
And it's like this little bit where he looks over to like the producer, like, "Is you being serious?" And it's like,
producer's like, that sort of bows to you like, opera singers, and like sort of like nods knowingly as if that means something.
Yeah.
I think that does mean something.
I think the cameras aren't on you just now, so I like I said, I think we're going to play politics if that's all right. So you're arguing, so you both make this move, roll audience, and whoever gets the rolls higher gets the result.
Okay.
I have an 8.
I have a 10.
A 10. So on a 10, you pick one from the list below, and then they pick one. So you can say they agree that you are right. The argument stays a private matter. The creative sets up another match or another segment that the person who has selected this option wants to see. You change your want to something they want to see a result of your argument. So you get to pick one information, and Obsolete gets to pick one as well.
I don't think we have time to set up another match.
Or a segment. A segment could also be a thing as well, I'd say.
What's it called? Let's see. I think change your wanted. I think this argument's. I don't want to say a private matter because it's funny if it's on screen.
Oh yeah, somebody catches like a recording of it and it goes out on social media for sure.
I don't think that one. Change your.
So we change your want as information to something that Obsolete would want to see as a result of your argument. I think that's what it's trying to say to you in that option, if you pick it.
Sure.
I think that's how I would interpret it.
Sure. What's something you want to see as a result of my argument?
Something I want to see as a result of.
Yeah. Well, this argument. Yeah. What do you want to see? What do you want to change? Yeah.
I want you to agree. I want you to agree that art funding is important, and I want you to, move away from the technology side of things that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. You're right. So yeah, is that what you're?
I think, but maybe it's that you change your want so that you had that want to your legacy was your cemented legacy, right? So I wonder if. Obsolete, maybe what you're saying is that I want you to be more involved in the arts, so maybe you become a patron of the arts in some way, like you donate something.
I want you to join a group, and I want that group to be the National Trust.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, I've been a Lone Ranger for so long. Sure. I'll change.
Yeah. So you want to be part of the National Trust now. That's one of your wants. So try and feed that in. If you're going to...
Might be the name of the heel team because we're both heels.
That is true. Yes. So that's you picking one. Alex, you still get to pick another one from that list of options. So you agree that they were right. It stays a private matter, or I set up a match, or most likely a segment that you want to see.
Probably a segment. Can I choose what that would be?
What would you like to set up?
I want the information to apologise to Beacon over almost ruining his home.
I like it.
And I want that on camera.
I like that. Yeah, we'll say in the setup of the Regal Wrangle, there are people rushing around trying to they're bringing the huge arena down from the lighthouse, like spraying it off and trying to get soak up the water and stuff, and the bits of bird poo, because there was a whole ton of seagulls that were just randomly there as well. So there's a moment where the cameras are still on and information and where do we find Beacon at this moment?
I mean, he's having a couple weathers. Watching coastal cameras on his phone, thinking about family. Probably just sitting there, waiting. He doesn't have anything to browse or anyone to really talk to, so he's just hanging out.
Can I come in?
Yeah, go for it, Hummingbird. What would you like to do?
Hi, Beacon.
Running Bird, it's good to see you.
That's the closest it's been for a long time. I'm really sorry to hear about your lighthouse.
What happened?
Oh, did it? I mean, in the.
Oh yeah, they shook it up. Yeah.
Right. Everything okay though? You're gonna be all right.
I can actually afford the payments a little better now. Now that it's structurally unsound, so they kind of did me a favor. But yeah, I think I could live in something broken. I'm pretty sure I'd be okay at that.
Yeah, I mean, you and breaking things. Sometimes you break up tag teams and. Go your own way. So I just wanted to say I'm really proud of everything you're doing, and thanks for the wings earlier.
He's gonna pretend to not know what you're talking about, but it's actually the first time he knows what someone's talking about. And if you catch over his shoulder at his phone, you just see a picture of an orange tabby cat with a collar that says family.
Oh.
Sorry, I was just thinking about family and who we really do all this for.
Right. Cats aren't my favorite normally. But anyway,
I'll shake your hand.
Shake it. I'll see you in the ring for the wrangle.
Oh, you're gonna win. Don't worry.
I don't know. I don't do that. So, here to help other people. So, I'll do a big flip when I get eliminated.
All right, Sunny Bird.
So close.
I have a question to the group right now, because I absolutely love this scene, and we'll get to the information coming in a second. I wonder if Beacon has accidentally broken kayfabe at all, because I don't think the whole point is that Hummingbird was supposed to lose jobs and not have any supporters. I don't know. What do we think, team? Is that?
I mean,
or is it me?
Was that on camera? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did say the cameras were rolling. Yeah.
I'll say the
I
only
think
thing
for the fun of the
different
game-
about Beacon in and out is he loves the ocean even more when he's not wrestling. And he doesn't really have much of a character, hence the -2, -1 to those things.
Okay,
But
so you say
I love that reading if you want to do it.
Yeah. I just thought it was just quite an interesting thing, like just because you said like doesn't know what you're talking about, although it does, and I was like, oh, maybe something else. Tell you what, let's roll it.
That's smart.
Let's roll and see what it. Yeah,
I think that's fun too.
So when you expose legitimate truth on camera, you know it could cause trouble because it would cause trouble. Roll plus real for me, please, and then we'll get to the information coming in a second.
3 - 1 is 2. I think that's good.
As a botch, you get all 3 of these things.
And you gain a momentum.
You do gain a momentum, so
great.
the creative books you to an embarrassing loss as a punishment for going off script. Noted. The truth reveals the real loses you -1 heat with someone involved, so that'll be -1 heat with Hummingbird.
Oh, that's fine.
And you lose faith of someone who was investing in you backstage. I'm gonna tell you what. I now have a list of. I'm going to roll randomly on my list of wrestlers I do have, just in case I needed them. I'm going to do that now rather than getting the audience. In case I needed them. Actually, no. Beacon, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 20 for me, please.
Let's go with 3.
3.
Such a sad 3.
Brilliant. Out of the corner of your eye, Beacon, you see behind some of the theatre tabs sort of thing, like getting ready, you see like a very angry looking character. It is an individual that is dressed in almost in like a mascot costume. They are, it looks like a huge sort of like, almost like a humanoid cat with sort of like big furs, like proper Disney-esque type things with big like googly eyes, with a big collar around the side. And you see their name tag, which just says Fancy Alice. You see them take off their big head, throw it down on the ground, like be very cross, and storm off backstage. This was like the new tag team partner that you had working with us for whatever reason. They have lost faith in you because you are sort of seen not canoodling, but you're sort of rekindling old friendships with Hummingbird / Gull Girl. Was that the name? Or Seagull? I think it was Seagull.
It was Gull Girl. Gull Girl.
Oh, damn it. I was like... Yeah. Anyway. Information, just to finish off that segment that obviously is set up. How do you approach apologizing, I guess is in quotation marks, to Beacon?
Information by the way, like he comes in, his jacket is like it's not open like in the picture, it's like closed, like covered up, and he says like and he's like and like yeah, and he's like, Beacon, how you doing? You still staying straight? Your hand still shuddering from the zap?
The weathers are just shaking. This is on camera, right? Just to check in.
Everything's still on camera now. Yeah.
I'm fine. I like them more this way.
Well, that's good. I need to send an apology on behalf of my new group. Opens up his shirt and it says the Unnatural Trust. So we have to say I don't want to, I'm not supposed to, and I won't do it anymore, destroy your lighthouse, because it's a work of art and not an outdated piece of, and then camera censors what I was about to say. Yeah. Yeah. So,
I think for a moment, Beacon looks completely like enraged for a second, hits a locker and then hugs you. And he's like, it's so hard for people at our age to make friends. And I'm so glad you found some people that just want you, because you're hard to want. I'm just proud of you. You and I hope you sing opera just as pretty as they do. And I'll just hug him, completely confused to what's like really going on.
And as Information Highwayman is dealing with this, we cut to the Regal Wrangle. There's lots of promos of like crowns, jewels, the Tower of London randomly, even though we're not in London, various bits of coins flowing away as the throne appears in the center of the arena. We're going to do very quick fire interviews with folks as they're sort of, again, for the promos of the lead up to this match, people are proper doing like We Will Rock You, like there are opera people singing the very high notes of We Will Rock You, and there's some random bass note somewhere, like a foghorn appears and is doing the accompaniments to it. Obsolete Overture. Danny Minogue is no longer around. You think that something happened to them. They might have got punched in the face one too many times and is suddenly off in the A&E tent. Instead, Kyle Minogue, their sibling, is interviewing at the same time. Do you have anything to say to your fans tonight? Who, you're about to go into the Regal Wrangle, Obsolete. What can we expect? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amped up, Kyle. I think we've let it go far too long that we're losing the art of this particular sport. We need to push out people that are trying to undermine the work that we're doing. So.
Do you have anything to say to your fans out there watching far and wide?
I think me and the fans both know that what we do in the ring will speak for itself.
Cuts to Information Super Highwayman. Any final thoughts for this upcoming match?
He's still like a little shaken by what the heck you're going
Yeah.
Really not like me? And just like comes out. Says, face like, listen, I don't mind the art's too bad. It's not. It ain't too bad. What Obsolete does, I wouldn't call art. But what I'm going to do to them in the ring, well, they better record that and hang that up in the Louvre. Is all I'm going to say.
Any final words for your fans out there? What are we watching for tonight?
Yeah. And it says, if you thought the ring was shaking when we were on that lighthouse, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Cut to Beacon. Again, Kyle Minogue weirdly has stepped further back from you as they're doing this interview. You're up against your old teammate, Hummingbird, and obviously old rivals, Obsolete Overture and Information Super Highwayman. Any final words for our audiences tonight?
I don't know, Kylie. I'm just happy to be here. To be honest, I'm really rooting for Hummingbird. I just feel like this sport's not for me anymore. I got really mad in that last fight. I don't know if this is good for me. Everyone should take a look at themselves and take a step back from all of this.
And finally, it cuts over to Hummingbird. You finally get a spot. Maybe it's been some time since you've done a Regal Wrangle, but Kyle goes to you and goes, Hummingbird, how are you feeling? Are you ready for the Regal Wrangle?
Oh, yeah, I'm... And she goes to sort of say sort of disparaging stuff and then thinks back to what Beacon said earlier and goes, yeah, I am ready. And you know what? This time, this bird's not going to fly the nest, and like smacks the microphone and just walks off.
Yeah. Yeah, the camera sort of goes, oh shit.
And then quickly runs back and goes, the nest is the ring and I'm not going to fly out of it. That's
okay. Yeah,
that's
no,
what
we
I
got
mean.
You go, Hummingbird.
Hummingbird. And then just walks away.
Yeah. Everyone, please roll a promo for me, please. That is roll plus luck, 2d6 plus luck for me, please, and let me know what you get.
I've got an 8.
8?
I got a 7.
7?
10 minus 2 for 8 also.
5.
5. Weirdly, Information doesn't connect at all. They're like, has something happened? Why are they speaking more like Beacon now? You gain a +1 momentum anyway, Information. But everyone else, you have the audience's attention. People are suddenly like, oh my god, this is going to be a rumble for the ages. So 7 to 9, you can pick one. So the creative can book you in a match. We can add a stipulation to the match. People can go out and respond. We can do that in the ring. Or you gain +1 heat with the promotion, the subject of your promo. So what are we thinking? Let's go with Beacon first. What are you thinking for your promo outcome?
I think was one of them just one more momentum. I don't think
no, it's just gain.
Yeah.
No, gain +1 heat. with a subject of your promo.
I will do that with. I mean, I didn't really talk about any of them. I told people to stop wrestling in my promo. I'm actually gonna pick one with Hummingbird because it's more of an excitement than like a vendetta. And
No,
I don't
I think
have
so.
one for them right now.
No, and I think this makes sense because the subject of the promo is the Regal Wrangle. Even though you were doing your own Beacon way of doing it, anyone that's involved in a Regal Wrangle would get +1. So I think that's fine. Hummingbird, which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to pick Beacon because that's who she was thinking about.
All right, gain +1 heat. Yeah, gain +1 heat. And Obsolete Overture.
I'm also going to take a heat, but against the information super highwayman.
All right. So we're going into our final match. So the lights dim down. I have booked the match already. It's all ready to go. And I get to pick who starts in the rings. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to put our two heels to go in head to head. It makes more sense in my head. So obviously Overture and Information Superhighwayman. I would say those people who are not in the ring just yet, you can be an announcer if you wish. Feel free to take it up at any point, I would say. And if you run in, you can do the run in move and then pass the announcer off to somebody else. Because once everyone is in, there's no more announcer stuff. So how do we, who's making the entrance first between Information Superhighwayman and Obsolete Overture? You go for it, yeah.
Sure, why not? We're in a normal, grand,
we're back in the big top. It is packed. It is warm. There's a little bit of sweat, but people are excited. Yeah.
Sure. I think he comes in on a, what are they called? Like big. I don't know. Like a
Segway.
Like, sure. Why not? Comes in on a. Yes, sponsored by not Tesla. He's coming in a big golden jacket over his existing one, also covered in neon, and he's already got a crown made of wires and circuit boards on his head, just like there, swinging two not guns, things that are clearly not guns. We can't have that on TV, wrestling TV anymore.
Yeah, there's big caps on them. Yeah.
Yeah, big one. Light shows pow pow as he comes onto the stage. On the Segway as he's just coming down the stage. Tosses fires off into the audience. Throws the guns both ways to the side. Throws off his jacket onto the poor referee who's just there. That's not his job, and just gets onto the ring, onto the corner, and says who's ready? Yes, yeah. Are you ready to see some control? There will be no halts in this game as I delete the opposition. And what few fans I have left are saying, the control alt delete as a thing.
Hey, roll the audience. I love that. Roll plus audience, please, because I love that. Control alt delete. Control alt delete. Control alt delete.
There should be a real wrestler with that. That's really cool.
I feel that's great. Yeah.
9.
A 9. They play along. You gain 1 momentum. Yeah. You think there's no fans there, but people find it's a catchy catchphrase. Control alt delete, and as you are getting the crowd ramped up, supporting you. Obsolete Overture. How do you enter this Regal Wrangle?
I'm dropping the theatrics for this. I just want to get in. Still going to have the orchestra playing, obviously. Still going to be singing. It is going to be kind of one of the final arias from an opera, so that kind of right before everything really goes to shit, people die type vibe. Walking in. Gonna grab the mic when I get in and be like, I guess we're back to this shithole then. Hopefully I'll be back to the lighthouse soon though, to try and get some cheap heat, please.
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely. Take that cheap heat. I love that. Yeah, we're going to use it to insult wrestlers because the audience is all from all over. I love that. I'd also say as well, I love the idea that you do have it's a mixture of, like you said, arias and stuff. I think every so often there is a Phantom of the Opera type thing as well. There's another person, sort of your other tag team buddy that has not made an appearance yet is just hanging back. So I quite like that as well. And you enter the ring.
Oh, and actually, can I take over the chant as well and start chanting Control Alt Obsolete?
Oh, absolutely. Roll work the audience. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It is only a 5 though.
Yeah, obsolete doesn't. There's too many syllables, unfortunately. You cannot work the audience again this episode. That's pretty bad. But you do gain 1 momentum as a result. Oh, I love that. All right. What I would say is, in order for this match, like I said, I've already booked it. Who would like to? Does Beacon? Would you like to have a go at being the announcer for this Regal Wrangle to begin with?
I believe I can do that just fine, Kylie. Thank you.
It's Kyle. So Hummingbird, you will be the first to run in at any opportunity, so feel free to use that running move whenever you need to. But I'm going to hand over narrative control for this match, the Regal Wrangle, to start with Overture. So Overture, what would you like to do?
I think no nonsense. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna try and hurt the information by pushing them up against the ropes as I come towards them and try and like hit them quite hard against the post in the corner.
Ooh, any response?
Yeah. As you're like shoving me up into it, I grab like the ropes to like kind of steady myself, and I say like, "You talk big shit about AI stealing from art, but who's the one who tried to steal my chant?" And just like jutting out my chin, like, "Go on, if you think you're hard enough."
Oh my!
I mean, it's like AI art. That's not even a chant you came up with in the first place. Control Obsolete's been around for a while.
Like, listen, you don't need. Listen, just admit you're a hater. It's fun. And just as he's like glaring at you, like, and like stretching out his chin, like his neck, and be like, if you're gonna do something, do something.
Well, if you're stretching out your neck, I think I'm gonna grab it and like flip you over behind me, using the momentum of you.
Amazing. So just to check with you, Overture, did you say you wanted to really hurt them, or is this just part of the wrestling move?
I would quite like to actually hurt them.
Okay, so this is going to be work real stiff unless you want to use a gimmick move instead. So this is going to be a roll plus real.
Opera meets technology. Maybe one day they'll start a garage band.
That is a 2. So I'm going to take an injury.
You take an injury. I've got a hard move. Okay, Alex, can you pick a number between 1 and 20, please, and not 3?
19.
There is a silence, and standing out from your orchestra, you just hear someone sort of start to slow clap. And you look back, and it is another humanoid cat figure. I'll be honest, you both picked 2 cats that are in my household.
I thought it was going to be Shia LaBeouf when you said
no. Look,
Actual
I've done the Kylie. I've done the Minogues. I'm not doing it anymore. You see Jingles, a individual that just has bells all ringing off them, and as they clap, the bells are sort of dissonant, and it is incredibly distracting to you. So what I'm going to say is that is going to be. Yeah, you got that injury. You got the injury, and as you sort of like again, the sort of clapping, like, oh, masterful. You get that injury instead. What's the injury that you get? What occurs to you, Obsolete?
I think if I'm flipping you over, I kind of strain my arms as I'm doing that. And probably because I have quite a lot of corsetry and things going on, I probably get some like poking in from the boning that starts to bleed.
Fair enough. But you do still manage that. You're both sort of on the mat at this point. Information super heavy, and you take the hit, but you roll away and you see that Overture is hurt. Overture, you still have narrative control of the match.
Oh, okay. No.
I was going to say, I didn't know if you were going to interrupt then, Information, that's all.
I mean, I think I realized that you were actively trying to hurt me at that point. You're like, that wasn't in the script. I think I'll spend the momentum to try and like get that, get that back.
You interrupt. You spend that momentum, and so how do you counter and take control?
So like, what's it called? As you are trying to, take control, you've like injured yourself. Like I, take that moment to kind of just like, bring my leg around and just like slam, grab your head and just like we're next to the turnstile, trying to like slam you on the turnstile. Still dramatic, still like going there. I'm not actively trying to hurt. Like playing the bit, like slam there, throw you into the rope. And then just try and like, slam you down onto the ground. I am a little concerned now that I need to finish this match quickly. Otherwise, one of us might end up in the hospital.
Overture, is there any response you're doing to this before you make the roll?
I think I'm gonna really play it up and like make it incredibly embarrassing for myself so that I get to do the "Are you not entertained?" which is one of my hardcore moves.
Read that aloud for us, please.
So if I endure humiliation, I get to roll plus real. So
excellent. I think that's good. So we'll say you can roll that, yeah, and then we'll roll the wrestling move.
Cool. So I got 7. Yeah, I got 7. And I can pick from gaining audience, booking a revenge match, or gaining heat with my opponent. But I've already got 3 heat, so I think I'm going to gain an audience.
Sure. I was going to say, if you gain another heat +4, you get an audience at the end of the match with it. If you finish with +4 heat with someone at the end.
I'll gain the audience now and then go.
Gain the audience. I think that's fair because audience can go up and down, but heat can also go up and down. It's a bit more fluid, and that's fair enough. Yeah. Information. You're doing this move. You're like bashing in. You can hear people like going, "Oh, ah!" You know, like definitely like fireworks by like "ooh" some people as well. What do you do to sort of make your move? What are you thinking?
I'll tell you. What's it called? That knock the. I think like because we had who was the person who came in with the bells? The
Jingles.
Yeah. As I'm just like dangling them, just like as you're just like been hit. I just like put my arm out through the ring. Jingles passes me some of their bells, and it's like I'm gonna a bit early. I'm gonna ring your bell, and then just like come in, with a practiced move, like slamming in the head, slam obviously in the head with the, with the bells to kind of like bring it down. I think it's either roll plus heat or roll plus work. I'm not sure.
I think. Yes, I guess I think it's a technique more than showcasing a maneuver. I don't know because how are you feeling towards Overture just now? Because they did try and hurt you quite badly.
That's the thing. Like,
it's up to you either way. I don't mind.
You know what? You tried to hurt me. It feels fair that I try and do the same. I'll work real stiff. With the bells. We didn't plan for bells.
We did not plan for bells. Absolutely. A roll plus real then.
Yes, I took as an advance one of the moves that gives me plus real. So instead of rolling -1, I'm rolling +0. So here we go.
Remember, you've got momentum you can spend afterwards if you need to.
Don't need it. I got a 10 exactly.
Oh my word! You lay out obsolete. Pick 2 from the list, so you injure your opponent. The match is booked to end in a no contest. The opponent loses -1 audience. Oh no! As you break through the illusion of their toughness, or you gain 1 audience as the audience can see you're a legit badass.
What's a no contest?
No contest means nobody wins.
I'll gain 1 audience as the audience sees that I'm a badass.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I will,
Oh, you picked 2. You picked 2. Sorry, because you got +10. Sorry.
Yeah, and my second one is I'm going to say the, what's it called? The hardcore actually getting. I don't know what's the point of doing 2 injuries. I don't know what injuries do.
Well, I'll get another heat with you if you do.
I'll take it. Yeah. I'll injure you again. So Yes. You can take
I'm like, yeah, perfect, right choice.
Yeah, keep going. Yes.
Keep going. Oh my god.
And let's just let folk know, just again, you can't go over +4 heat with a wrestler, just so people know that. So you're not gonna, if you get, I've got 7, it's like, oh, don't do that. You don't get any more for that.
If I gain 1 more audience, do I get top spot?
If you get more than +4, you are in top spot. But remember, everyone's vying for top spot as well, with that thing. So yes, absolutely.
Okay. So got him working real stiff. Go on.
Yeah. So you still got creative control, my friend. What would you like to do?
Unless someone wants to run in.
Well, I think I'm gonna interrupt actually.
Nice work.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend my momentum to do that, and I'm going to try and do a move that requires both of us. And like, I imagine you're kind of holding the back of my head as you're doing this.
Sure.
Kind of launch myself backwards, and both of us do a flip onto the mats.
Valid.
So this is you're working together. So that is a. Sorry, I think that's just a.
Roll heat.
Yeah, I think make the most of the heat.
Yeah, roll heat or roll work if you want to do that. But yeah, you can roll heat with someone if you like for your wrestling move.
I've got to do maths now. That's 9.
I was like, what? You keep their attention, so you choose
I
whether
had
to
add
hand
4, and I was like, that's too much.
You can choose whether to hand control over to the opponent and gain +1 momentum, or retain control of the match.
I think I'm going to try and retain control of the match.
Alright, so yeah, go for it. Describe.
Before you're able to get back up, after you've both landed, I'm going to kind of scramble up, grab the bells that you got from, was it Jingle?
Jingles.
Jingles, yes. I want to call them Jangles. Yes, Jingles.
That's a different character and a different roster. It's for the children's only afternoon plays, yeah.
And I think I'm going to kind of climb on top of you, pinning you down, and start hitting you with the bells.
And here comes Beacon. I'm gonna run in whenever there's
Excellent.
a spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can hear the bells like do 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 sort of thing. So you're gonna run in. Yes. Roll plus heat with the wrestler you're coming in after. Who's that going to do?
Speedily walk in, because I'm going to be picking up trash real quick in a bag to set a good example, and then I'll make it there. But I think I'm coming for. I think I'm coming for the Highwayman. No, I'm not. He apologized. I am not. I'm going to obsolete.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Roll plus heat with what you have with obsolete, please.
That was a 6 + 3.
That is a 9. So you gain your target gains +1 heat with you, and they pick something. So you attack them in the ring. This books them as the winner, and the opponent gets disqualified for you outside interference. Yeah. You distract them from outside the ring, and their opponent takes control of the match. This does not change the outcome, but you're booked in a grudge match from later on. Or you shove a ref, start a brawl, or otherwise interfere. This books the match in a no contest, and you both take +1 momentum. I would suggest that you attack them in the ring. Don't worry about the booking stuff yet, because with the Regal Wrangle is slightly different. But your target will gain +1 heat. But it's whatever Obsolete would like to do. They get to pick something here.
I'm wearing a hummingbird t-shirt too. Sorry.
Sorry, we all reacted quite visibly there. So that was amazing.
Or the wings, is it? Instead of a t-shirt, is it the wings?
Have whatever. They do exist. She made them, and like.
I'll take wings. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to cut to the merch store saying, yeah, somebody bought the full outfit of Hummingbird, like the wig, the hair, the sort of like, let's go. You probably even just picked up like a go Hummingbird, like, I don't know.
Montage of me not knowing what I'm asking for. It's the honey bear. No. The running bird. No.
Very bright colours, wings, you know.
Fantastic. All right, so yeah, you rush in and you attack Overture. So so you get out of control as a result, Beacon. What are you doing?
You were on top of Highwayman hitting downward, if I with the bells correctly. I'm just gonna try to run in, grab their back like they're not wearing a life jacket, and just try to chuck them out of the ring, like just in a straight up go for it. Cheap shot.
Ooh, all right. So this is going to be the Regal Wrangle move. So when you narrate a sequence of maneuvers that lead up to you eliminating an opponent, if you're using your strength, are you using your knowledge of leverage?
I would be using my work. My knowledge of leverage. Yeah.
All right. 2d6 roll work, and Obsolete. You can stop this happening if it gets a botch, or if you want to interrupt in some way, you absolutely can do.
8, and I will spend 3 momentum points to put it up to an 11.
Wow. Okay.
If possible.
I'll check if the Overture. Is there anything you'd like to do to stop this from happening? Because you can do this. It resolves in a stack, if you see what I mean.
What can I do to stop this from happening? Is it kind of...
You can interrupt and take narrative control in some way. You can maybe do a heal move, perhaps, to underhandedly do stuff. But again, it involves spending momentum.
Yes, I am going to do a heal move then. And kind of underhandedly, when you kind of picked me up, I've allowed myself to continue the momentum and spin round. And then I'm just going to kind of koala bear hug onto you so that you cannot like physically wrench me away from your body. And I'm just like on.
Nice, I like that. What I say is that you do get, excuse me, +1 momentum Overture as with that. So the crowd goes absolutely wild, thinking you're about to be eliminated, and then you koala bear on like a limpet, essentially stuck to Beacon, which I love.
Beacon cannot resist a hug. Like he just, this is better. His wings.
Cute. I'm gonna gain heat with you then.
It is warm in here. Yeah.
It is. Because Beacon's run it. You have narrative control still, my friend. You have Overture stuck to your back, so to speak. You can see information in Superhighwaymen on the floor, probably about to get up themselves. What do you do?
Is there any sort of move where you just start addressing the crowd in the middle of actual activity?
Yeah. Well, tell me what you're doing, and then we can.
I'm gonna get them to chant Hummingbird, so this can become a 2-on-2 as we, take out the trash, as Beacon likes to do.
Work the audience. Roll plus audience as you start to do maybe the motion.
Running word.
Hummingbird. Hummingbird, it's on your shirt.
8 plus 2.
That is a 10. They pop big. You can spend a momentum to gain 1 heat with the opponent that's about to come in, so maybe Hummingbird. Otherwise, you just gain 1 momentum. I'll leave that to you. You gain 1 momentum. Where do we find Hummingbird at this moment? Hummingbird.
I think they are sort of in the back, ready to they know they're next, and they're ready to do their regular entrance. And someone from behind the scenes just taps them on the shoulder and goes, "We've got a different way for you to come in today." And she turns around and they've got this harness that they start putting her in, and she's like, "Okay," and and it's just sort of getting ready to go.
Yeah, so you get the harness and you're taken up high on the highway as you're lifted up above the sort of the tabs and stuff like that. This noise of hummingbird or running bird or honey bear just changes all around, but it's for you.
And she starts doing the arms, and I think there's this big explosion of feathers, and then she just sort of flies and appears through them. And flips out of the harness, lands on the ring post. Mm-hmm. Is Jingles in the match? The cat.
Jingles is currently outside the match, waiting for their bell to come back. Their eyes are watching this bell that has been taken from them. So yeah, they're currently outside, but yeah,
that's fine. If they're outside and not in, then that's fine.
No.
I'll just stay out and I'll land on the top turnbuckle, and then flip off, land, do the wings some more, and I'd want to try and work. Does that count as work the audience? Just sort of.
I think
going
so.
along
Yeah,
with all the
let's do it. Yeah. Roll 2d6 plus audience.
I
think so.
Roll
Yeah, you
work because I have the move sympathetic. They want to be on your side. Roll work instead of audience when you make a work the audience roll.
Amazing. Yes.
However, I rolled a 3 on the dice, so that is a total of 5.
Ooh, do you have any momentum or anything like
yes,
that?
Yes, I do.
You could use it.
Don't have very much though.
As long as it gets over a 6.
Over a 6.
He's got, 6 below is a botch.
So I'm on a 5. Okay, I'll spend 2 to bring it up to a 7.
That you land okay. Again, maybe it's off slightly because you're not used to it, and maybe you're a little bit overwhelmed by suddenly people shouting "Hummingbird," and you just see almost like a wave of people going around doing the action, and it's a little bit haphazard. They're not used to this sort of thing, but it is heartwarming. You get +1 momentum.
And just sort of wave, but then I think what actually truly throws her off is when she looks over and sees Beacon in the full get up, and she's like, "Oh wow, okay, pull yourself together. I can do this," and then.
Yeah, I would say that Beacon is currently surrounded by a skirts and a big opera wig that is I assume still on a grass on. So it is weird to see I was gonna say Madam Obsolete. That's not your name at all. Obsolete Overture with wings, in your costume and not, and then you realizing that Beacon is underneath. I'm gonna give you, unless anyone else wants to interrupt, I'm gonna give go for it. Information.
I'm going to interrupt. People have kind of ignored me while this was going on, so I'm going to take this moment, spending in momentum, bringing me down to 2. Just grabbing. Does Beacon have wings, or is it just a shirt?
I have wings, but they're part of a costume.
Yeah,
it is the full hummingbird outfit that was on sale.
Yeah, so I go in, grab him by the wings, and then just pull you off Obsolete and just throw you, and then I just say, go to Obsolete, who is getting handed. Pick up the bells, throw it over to Jangles, distracting Jingles a little bit, and I just say, grab you and say, there's now two of them, but we both want the same thing. And I'm like, point a beacon. We want his lighthouse. Let's work together.
Absolutely.
Join the
I'm joining you on
Unnaturals.
that. I'm joining the Unnatural Trust, and I think there can only be one hummingbird. Let's get rid of this fake one.
As you both start moving towards Beacon, Hummingbird just steps in front and goes, "If you want him, you have to go through me." And then just looks terrified, looking at these two people who she's only ever lost to.
I think
put my
we can
head on
move
Hummingbird.
around Hummingbird.
I put my hand on Hummingbird's shoulder and go, "I realized home is just the people you forget along the way."
That's almost sweet, Beacon.
Yeah. I'm gonna be sick. And then I just like lunge straight.
He's got a virus.
I lunge straight at Hummingbird, and I'm gonna put him over. I'm gonna show vulnerability to make Hummingbird look good. So I'm gonna
amazing.
roll plus work, and I'm like, I get in close, and I like whisper, like we practiced. Because you're my protege.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll plus work to try and make this work. Cool. What is my work at? My work is.
Or is this the work with the opponent, so you get the heat, or is that?
So there's a put over is something the veteran can do, especially on the gimmicks. Yes, don't worry, we had this earlier, so that's why I was like, but no, not put over.
Yeah, I'm doing this one because I have a reason. Here we go. Nice. That is an 8, 9. I will spend 1 momentum to bring it up to 10. So nice. on a 10, you both gain 1 audience.
Nice,
amazing.
Which brings me to the top spot.
Oh,
and now I've gained 3 advances in the game.
Bloody hell! Wow. So you describe how you do that, and then gain those advances in a second. Sure. But yeah, describe how you do this cool move.
So I think Hummingbird. I grab Hummingbird, toss it around a little bit. But like as I throw you into like the rope, you come back in probably some high flying kind of move.
Well, hummingbirds can reverse their direction in midair. So I think as you throw me, even though I'm like in midair, I somehow manage to like swing my body round to like come and land back down without going out over the ropes.
Nani?
I'm going to interrupt there. It looks like Hummingbird's got the upper hand against the information, so I'm going to try and team up with her and toss the information out.
Betrayal.
So I'm going to grab the Hummingbird's hand as she lands and like drag her over towards the information, and kind of almost like a 3-legged race, but with 3 hands. Go to scoop and throw.
Oh, with the information.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I guess together roll. The overture. Roll the Regal Wrangle move, please. So you're using your body, 2d6 plus body.
Can I do it with heat?
Because I'm
getting
heat app. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I saw that third part there. Yes, absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that is only a 7 though. And I don't have any momentum to bring it up.
Oh, they don't quite go over, and they are still in the match. Choose whether to hand control over to them and take 1 momentum, or retain control of the match and pick the next entrant. You're all going to be in. You're already in there, so.
I'm going to hand it over and take my momentum.
All right, information.
You're handing it back. Okay, so you try to. I'm like, and I just like because like these young people don't even know how it's done, and I'm glaring at all of you. It looks like it's turned into a 3 against 1 at this point, and I look at Beacon, and I'm just like, he'll be like, almost will be like,
catching my breath.
Yeah, old versus new. I think what's it called? I'm going to as my third advance. I took 1 that gives me more work, and I'm taking experienced hand from the jobber. When I pitch an idea for another wrestler, roll plus real. Basically, my idea is let's work together, and take these 2 out, and we can talk about dealing with your lighthouse problem afterwards. So roll plus real. Let's see how I do.
All right, roll plus real.
I got an 8. I got no momentum. I got 8. That means where are we? Let's go. On 7, pick 1. they agree to a new opponent of your choice, and they gain +1 heat with each other. So whoever you want to fight, Obsolete or Hummingbird, both of you gain +1 heat with each other.
Oh, I'm going with Obsolete. We have old bad blood.
Yeah. And Hummingbird's mine.
Yeah,
I can't gain any more heat with you, so let's go.
Yeah.
Sweet. And I run over, and then I can, because I'm in charge, I will give hand over narrate. I have to hand it over to my opponent.
You can do the comeback if you want to voluntarily hand it over to somebody else if you'd like to.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to, lunge over at Hummingbird and start like pummeling down, so it looks like I have the upper hand.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to hand over to her. So Hummingbird gets it.
Sounds
has
good.
narrative control, and I gain +1 momentum.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't have any momentum just now, do you?
I'm down to 2.
So if you don't, if you have no momentum, you gain 1. If you got momentum, so you don't gain 1.
Okay, that's fine, and I'll stay at 1. Yeah, it's because it's better. So I'm fighting, but you are, you're in charge. You got narrative control now.
Go for it, Hummingbird.
Cool. I think as you're like pummeling Hummingbird into the mat, she kind of looks at you and sort of like nods a little, like, okay, I remember this, and sort of manages to sort of just suddenly like pushes against you and like slides backwards and does this almost like reverse flip to like land on her feet, and then immediately like picks you up and is going to run up your body and sort of do a flip and then kick you, and I'm gonna try and attempt
Running bird.
the running bird,
Yeah.
as we'll call it, and I'm gonna attempt to kick him over the ropes.
All right, let's do it.
I'm
that
trying
sounds...
to do it with the knowledge of leverage and superior.
That's what it sounds like. Yes, exactly. That's how physics works. 2d6 plus
him in the head.
plus work. Yeah, boof. Yeah, roll work.
That is it's a 7, and I can't get it up to enough with momentum, so I'll just they don't quite go over.
So you could choose if you want to take a momentum and hand over back control to I'd say either the information or any of the other people, or you keep the narrative control.
I could do with gathering some more momentum, so I will hand narration over back.
Who do you want to hand it over to?
Oh, can I hand it anywhere?
I'm going to say yes, because I'm aware of time just now. I'm just going to make sure that everyone gets a good go in, and then if need be, I will finish the match for you guys.
As I do it, I'll like look at Beacon and I'll hand it over to Beacon.
I'm going to start backing up into that part of the ring, so Hummingbird and I aren't that far from each other because we've been a tag team before, so we probably have some good chemistry if I remember who they are. But it'll be kind of drawing Obsolete towards me, very much down in a grapple form, and we'll just use wrestling to just do the straight up old boring grapple to Obsolete. Trust in my work and family and, old friends.
Any response, Overture?
I'm gonna let you get me into a grapple. I'm gonna use it to my advantage by kind of whispering in your ear, "You're a bit too old for this, aren't you?" And then roll us while you're distracted by that, so that I'm now on top, and then just start pummeling down on you.
I'll probably agree with you. Like, yeah, I know.
do you want me to just get you out because you look like it's your bedtime?
I think I would try to hurt them by going for the vocal area.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Brutal.
Sorry, we're the greatest generation.
That's I guess, unless there's any other responses, that I think that's a plus a body to your 2d6 for your wrestling,
which I have a 1, 2, 6.
We're rolling so badly.
Yeah, we just can't beat each other.
Like, we're all just there like, hey, get out. No, you go.
You don't have any momentum?
Tired.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do have. I'll
say
spend
you
1 to take it up to 7. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, you can choose to hand the control over to your opponent and +1 momentum, or retain control as you want. So you don't get injured, essentially.
I think after having them said that and taunted me, I'm gonna give them control. Like, come at me a little bit. Yeah. So I'll give that to Obsolete.
Sounds good. What I will say, because before we get into that, we are 1 minute away from the stream ending. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, as this fight is going on, between the four of you, you all start, you go into your various, you do your hummingbird stuff, you're doing your tag teams, switching back and forth. Suddenly, all the lights go out as they realise they've hit curfew. And suddenly they're like, everyone has to get out within 5 minutes in order to take your trash with you, etc. So it's almost as if a plug has been unplugged as the camera goes, no, we will see the finale of this next time on Worldwide Wrestling. What I would love, though, is for each of you to describe the sort of like a cool highlight that you did from this Regal Wrangle as people are still filing out and leaving. You're still fighting, but we're not going to roll for it. I wanted a descriptive line of you doing something to the other character with consent, obviously. We'll start off with obviously Overture, because I did just take your moment from you. So please, what are your cool final moves as people are filing out, leaving the wrestling match?
My final move is, because people are leaving, and they're probably like leaving their trash around, which I know Beacon was going to collect up later. I'm going to grab 2 of the kind of aluminum cans that have been left out and just smash them against Beacon's head. Like, fuck you. No one's going to recycle these.
Oh, I love that. Let's go for Information Highwayman. What's your sort of cool final move that people see as they leave the arena?
So I'm wrestling Hummingbird. I've got wires from like somewhere in my jacket, and I kind of like wrapping one hand, trying to get it around the wings, and like sparks are coming out at this point, like illuminating as the lights are coming down. There's like the sparks of electricity. There's like shining moment of trying to like stop, hold her down. Can I stop? Can I keep down the Hummingbird?
Well, the lights keep going down, up and down, but yeah, Hummingbird, throwing it over to you.
I think as these sort of things get like they're tying her down, she grabs the wires, wrenches them off, and they almost like attach to her wings, and now she just has these glowing wings, and she sort of almost like she leaps back and almost takes flight as she sort of like falls back down to the ground. And as she takes flight, she looks in the distance and she sees a little kid with a sign
saying one small child being taken out, going.
And their mum's like, "No, we have to go.
We have to go. We have to. It's your bedtime." Yeah. Parking is a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
And she just grins and then just sort of lands back down, and it's just very happy.
Absolutely. Beacon.
I'm getting battered by these cans and just, the climate crisis and everything. Instead of using my own move, I think I'd remember one that Seagull Girl used to make. And I will just push off Obsolete and kind of just run slow-mo would be the end clip towards Super Highway. And while jumping at him to take both of us out of the ring, you just hear me go, mine, 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 as I try to do one of their old moves.
As you do it, Hummingbird just goes, mine.
Yeah. And that is where we're going to end World of Wrestling. I'm so sorry we couldn't finish the match, but I want to be right on time. Well done to our wonderful, amazing wrestlers.
I like that.
Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into this special stream of Worldwide Wrestling for Science and Sorceries playing for Palestine Weekend. I'm going to ask our team very quickly. We're going to go round anti-clockwise, so starting with Alex, just to give a little where we could find them, on the internet, what they're up to, and anything quick they'd like to plug. So, Alex, please take it away for us, please.
You can find me on the internet at AOM Holmes, HOLMES. To be honest, I'm not really using social media that much at the minute, but you can have a look at tweets I made previously.
Good content.
The one thing I'd like to plug is Planet Science Festival is coming soon, and I've got a couple of people I know that are volunteering for that and to put together some Renos events, so definitely have a look at those.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Chirag, please go.
Sure. My name is Chirag Ghaznani. You can find me on the socials, just either at Cheeky Said What on X, or you can find at Daisies and Dragons, which is an all South Asian YouTube channel and Twitch. You can find us there. We're releasing a new series on YouTube called Do or Die, where I have 1 hour to learn a whole new RPG system and then run it live on Twitch for 2 hours. The YouTube of it will be coming up later, early next week. And then the next episode will be coming sometime end of the month. Check that out. And if you're based in London or the UK, go check out RP Haven. They're like a fantastic group of role players. If you want to ever play in person, they're great. I go there. It's a lot of fun. I've said it done.
Thank you so much. That sounds like an absolutely awesome YouTube series. So thank you. I will definitely be checking that out. Emily Bates, where can we find you, my friend?
Hello, I'm on the internet at MZWB, that's EMZYWB. I won't lie to you, I don't post a lot. Mostly, I retweet stuff, the RP Geeks post. That's RP Geeks D&D, the group I'm a part of. We're sort of the sister of science and RPGs to science and sorcery. Although recently we've not been doing very much science, but it's coming back, I swear. And we do loads of fun things. We play RPGs. We also play Blood on the Clock Tower, which is coming up in 5 days' time. We're playing Blood on the Clock Tower. And I believe, Sam, are you playing in that one? Fiona, are you playing in that one?
I hope so, if my internet's going, yeah.
If your internet's working.
If my internet's working, yes.
And lots of lovely people show up on those streams. So do check us out. All our back catalogue is on YouTube, and most of it's on our podcast. All at RP Geeks D&D.
Fantastic. And last but by no means least, Rara.
Hey, I'm Rara. I run a sad sack podcast called The Heart is a Dungeon. We just started our second series this week. Yesterday, actually. 20 players show up in this series with 30 episodes that are all under an hour. So that's fun. This Sunday, I'll be GMing on Telltale Hearts. It's a fundraiser for Black Girls Code. And then next week, I'll be showing up in a Candela Obscura trilogy that's slowly going to be putting out episodes we already recorded from Queer RPG.
Fantastic.
Queer RPG. Yeah. That's
fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, my wonderful task. I'll quickly go. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns. And I am an improviser and podcaster. I have 2 podcasts which are RPG related. What Am I Rolling? And the DM's Book Club. You can find those wherever you listen to podcasts. But I do want to really have a massive shout out, because if you've enjoyed this game, please go try out Worldwide Wrestling 2E. Head over to NPD Designs, grab a copy there. You can get an itch copy, or you can get a physical copy as well. Highly recommend it. It is something that's so fun, and it's so nice to see other RPGs that aren't necessarily D&D. We've had a lot of fun here. You've seen us all try our best with the rules, etc., but it's supposed to be like as creative as possible, and that's what I really love about this game. So please go check it out.
Really
and support
fun.
It there. I want to thank our wonderful cast again for just bringing all that wonderful energy. A massive thank you to Science and Sorcery team for letting us out. Massive kudos to Sam, best producer, getting us some really cracking names. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to all of our donations. We've raised in this whole stream $255.
Wow.
Hooray!
Ooh,
Thank you so much. That's so good.
We thank who did the art as well.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
art is so pretty. Sorry.
The art is so great. Liz Van de Art, I believe, is their Twitter handle. I've got it here. Please go check them out. They've done the art for this, and they've done the art for all the other Science and Sorcery streams as well for this particular event. Honestly, when we saw them, we were absolutely blown our minds. So thank you so much for that. I think that is everything. If you still haven't donated yet and really would like to, if you are able to, please go to the Tilify link that I'm sure has been dropping in chat throughout this whole stream. But also, there is our event tomorrow carrying on the Science and Sorcery stuff. There's another charity event whose name, I think it's called Sky Heist. It's a D&D stream. It's run by our friend Edward Spence with a cast of celebrities and cool RPG people. So if you're around, I think it's 7 p.m. tomorrow on Saturday, BST time, please come and check that out and keep supporting Science and Sorcery through their Playing for Palestine. We're going to, Lisa Van der Art, check them out on Twitter. Thank you for that, producer Sam. Right, we're going to go and do our stars and wishes and do our debrief. Thank you so much, our wonderful team. You've been amazing. We're going to wave awkwardly until we get taken out. Bye.